39 times. No one's ever seen anything like it. For 39 times now, I've made a fool of myself and the entire United States. We've got to deal with Iran. It's going to happen. Oh, is it? Oh, folks, it's Friday. Smile. Mike Church Show here, live, asking the question of the day.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
Well, I'll tell you.
Oh, and remember, Friday is Hawaiian Shirt Day. So, if you want to, go ahead and wear a Hawaiian shirt and jeans.
Friday.
It's Rephone. It's Rephone.
Yes, it is. A free phone. Right there. Yeah, there you are charged with the task. Telling me what it is we shall talk about here on the program. The telephone number to take me up on this kind, benevolent, beneficent offer of the use of these radio airwaves. Give us a call sometime when you have no class. 844-527-8723, 844-5-CRUSADE. Email address, same as it ever has been. I am King Dude at protonmail.com. Crusader, Mike Church Show, Red, White, and Dude Nation. Win a pound of gold. Stadium chat room is on air at mikechurch.com/chat, crusadechannel.com/chat. It is a Friday. Today is the 12th of June. Welcome aboard. We will play the Golden True Ticket soundbite of the day. Next segment here. Congratulating Julie Kopka for winning her tickets, 2 tickets last night. Go get the secret password code of the day on our YouTube channel at Real King Dude or at MikeChurch.com. Or I actually believe you can get it on the winapoundofgold.com website as well. So here we are. Before we came on, I wanted to go and check and see, as I do every day. Okay, so in what European country, who are the players in question, and where are they going to meet today to sign Trump's latest deal? So I'm waiting. Waiting. Are you waiting? Because I'm waiting too. Crickets. Maggie, have you seen the details of the deal? Is it going to be in Belgium? Is it going to be in Switzerland? The Swiss are known for peace, right? The Swiss are known for being neutral, for neutrality. So it'd be a perfect place to have it would be in Zurich or in Geneva. Maybe I should check and see on the newswire if there's anything. There's nothing. You know that every time this happens, this is the most frustrating part about the whole thing. Every time this happens, it is a market manipulation. Somebody is going to make a couple $100 million because they got the advance notice that the notice was that the announcement was going to be, the fake announcement was going to be made, and other people are going to make hundreds of millions of dollars, if not billions of dollars, because they're going to go in the opposite direction because one's going to long and one's going to short. There's a story at Zero Hedge today that in the last 3 weeks the amount of shorts, the people who are saying no. The price of oil is going to go down. It's going to crater because the deal is imminent. What if the deal is not imminent? I'm going to say this again. Today is June the 12th. Let me tell you what was happening on this day in 1776. To kind of put this into perspective here. with people that are actually statesmen or were actually statesmen and actually did care about the welfare of their countrymen that they represented in the Second Continental Congress. Okay, so on the morning of June the 8th, there was a furious debate with John Adams screaming at John Dickinson, and then others got up and begged for peace. And Adams was basically saying, look, enough of this. We have been coming here for over 2 years now. We've done absolutely nothing. You've appointed your George Washington as your commander-in-chief of the Continental Army. The Continental Army to do what? And he starts ticking off the list of things that are happening. You know, we have intelligence that says that a fleet of British ships is en route here with 10,000 Hessians. Hessians were known as mercenaries at the time. What do you think they're going to do when they get here? Any one of us, that if we haven't moved and haven't done something and haven't actually made something of this Continental Congress and this revolt that we're under, we're all going to get arrested. Like Ben Franklin once said, we were all hanged together or we were all hanged separately. We're all going to get arrested. You know what's going to happen to us. So we need to do something. So then Richard Henry Lee of Virginia, who is the great uncle of Robert E. Lee. Richard Henry Lee was also an attorney. He's a lawyer. He studied at William and Mary College under George Wythe, the legal mind genius of the Virginia colony. Richard Henry Lee stands up, and he's been scribbling the whole day. And he goes, okay, let's do this. And he reads basically the last paragraph. He said, I wish to be heard. They say you can talk. I wish to enter this into the record. It comes to be known as the Lee Resolution. They only changed like 2 words in it in the final version of the Declaration. And he says, here's what I think we should do. We, therefore, the representatives of the United States of America in General Congress assembled, appealing to the Supreme Judge of the world for the rectitude of our intentions, do in the name and by authority of the good people of these colonies, solemnly publish and declare. That's the part that they added. This is what the Lee Resolution said. These united colonies are and of right ought to be free and independent states, that they are absolved from all allegiance to the British Crown, and that all political connection between them and the state of Great Britain is and ought to be totally dissolved, and that as free and independent states, etc., etc., etc. That's the Lee Resolution. Well, they went, and he goes, let's vote on it. John Hancock's looking around going, dude, I don't think you got the votes. And he says, why not? What are we doing here? Let's have a vote on this. And so it's agreed that, okay, look, why don't we just table it? Let's talk about this for 3 weeks. Give us 3 weeks. In 3 weeks, we'll come back. We'll all have had time to go home to our colonies, to ask our folks if they want this, basically to secede from the British Crown. Now, those are serious men debating and then considering and then pondering, and they're getting ready to act upon serious things. So it was resolved that they would meet back in 21 days, and they would reconsider the Lee Resolution, as it was called, and they all had their instructions. So today, on June the 12th, I'll tell you what happened. There was a motion that was made by Ben Franklin, and Franklin said, look, here's what I think we ought to do while we're waiting the 21 days. Why don't you send Livingston? It was Livingston and Sherman with me. We're going to go to Quebec, and we're going to go ask the Frenchies if they'll help us, if they want to join us. And we'll tell them that if Quebec agrees to do this, that, you know, when the colonies get that far north, they can become part of the new United States of America, too. This was the pitch. And in the meantime, can you financially support us and what have you here? Not realizing, or maybe they did know, that Quebec was a completely and totally in control of French and of French Catholics, and that the French Catholics weren't going to make any sort of a deal like that with what they viewed as a bunch of anarchists. So off Franklin went. That's what happened on June the 12th. Look it up. You can read it in the at the Library of Congress. It is called The Journals of the Continental Congresses. And I think there are 8 volumes. They cover months from 1774 to 1781 until they had disbanded under the Articles of Confederation. A fascinating little glimpse into history that many of you may not have known until I just told you that. But that's what was going on in June. And so they went about their business and they did these things. Do you know what the House of Representatives tried to do yesterday on June the 11th, 2026? They tried to ramrod this infernal blasted scheme called the National Intelligence, I forget the exact explicit official title. It's basically another 3-week extension of the 702 FISA court spying racket. Well, I got to tell you, payback and loyalty to the Constitution is a witch. It got voted down. It got voted down. They lost on the floor. Why did they lose on the floor? Because every single Democrat plus Thomas Massey, and I think there were 2 other Republicans, went, no, I'm not doing this. No, we're not reauthorizing this. You have all this Israeli garbage in there. We're not doing it. So it got voted down. That sent the Zion King, Mike Johnson, out there to bemoan the fact. He even said, well, I hope we don't get attacked in the next couple of weeks here because, Massey, along with the Democrats, refused to do what's great, what's best and right for our country to protect us all because our spy-fair state is so wonderful and so magnificent. Go read my comment on X.com. Glory, hallelujah, what a glorious, wonderful day. I hope it gets tabled forever. Kill it. And by the way, our vainglorious spy-fair state that spends over $1 trillion a year now hasn't prevented any domestic terrorist attack. You know how we notice? Because Democrats are always reminding us of evil white supremacist wackos out there, and this plot and this plot and that plot, and then there are the mass slayings, the kids going into schools, all have social media accounts, and the spy-fair state is asleep at the wheel. How come they don't? Where's the pre-crime division here? Why don't they know these things in advance? The point being, the spy-fair state exists so we can have movies made about it, and so all these people can continue to get paid to pretend as if there's this international espionage that they fastidiously and heroically prevent. Harm coming from to the American people. You can't ever be told about it because it's top secret. You see, if you ever learned about it, you might, it just wouldn't be good if you don't want to know the state secret. You don't want to know what Jack Ryan and the boys are doing to keep you safe. It is literally the Jack Ryan Bailout Act. Let us make sure that Tom Clancy can keep writing books. Let us make sure that the idea of James Bond doesn't fade or wither on the vine, because we must have our heroic and very successfully heroic super spies out there, and our super spy agencies that are just out there working for the good of the American people. Have you been to the post office lately, folks? Have you been to the post office lately? Have you been to the DMV? Have you had to have any dealing with any government agency in any time in the recent past? Do you really think that they are at the top of their game when it comes to anything? So my view of this is, and okay, one more thing. And then you couple this with the 39th time President Donenbaum Trump has said, we got a deal. No, I think it's just good. This is the one. No, I just heard. Hold on. Let me get to the bat phone over here. What's that? Hello, pantsuit Mark, or tracksuit Mark. What? The Iranians they're begging for he says they're begging for a deal right here. Tracksuit Marco. Let me put you on speaker, tracksuit. Yesterday in the Oval Office, that's pretty much how that went down. It was revealed, oh no, this is really serious this time. The Iranians, they are so desperate to make a deal. And then one reporter said, you've been saying this for like 10 weeks now, pretty much every other day or so, and no deal has emerged. What's different this time? Well, I tell you, we clobbered their radar. Riley Gaines comes in fifth. I won 87% of the counties. Did you know that? 87%. CNN said no one's ever seen anything like my poll numbers. I love inflation. They're so good. The Iranians are begging. They're pleading. They're on their knees right now. The Iranians are desperate. And as if you've never heard that before. Someone may want to X the question and then try and ascertain the answer. I don't know. I'll ask the question, but I don't know what the answer is. Why does this continue? It's almost like this is normal now. Do you remember how many days it took? Because the Iranians were going to crack back in 1979 and 1980 as well. Remember the hostage crisis? And that the Americans were taken at the American embassy in Tehran after the Shah was overthrown and the Islamic Revolution, and the Ayatollah comes in. Ayatollah you so. Do you remember if Jimmy Carter had been a Trump and had he been having daily press conferences and dealings with the media, he'd have been going, well, I tell you that I can tell you that George Baker's over there right now, and then we're very close to making a deal. It's very close. I think maybe we might have been negotiating it with some good over some peanuts. We'll put the shells on the floor over some peanuts with the Iranians to get the hostages back tonight. It might even happen tonight. Wasn't it 444 days? The Iranians never cracked. It was ultimately, the Ben Affleck made a movie about it, about how the
444 days.
I said 444 days. The movie was called not Argus. Oh gosh, I'm trying to remember the name of it. But he detailed how they finally actually got the hostages out by Argo, by sending a fake American film crew in there to basically supposedly to document it. In any event, the American government didn't rescue the hostages. Filmmakers did. Guys pretending to be documentary filmmakers are the ones that got the hostages out of the embassy. Watch the movie Argo. I think that's probably the reason that Affleck made it. So, for the 39th time now, this has happened again. Look at the thumbnail for today's show. I didn't even have to go looking very far for images and dates. As a matter of fact, CNN put a nice little montage together of all the times that Trump has been promising this. What does it feel like, American people? What does it feel like to be led by a man that is basically now amounting to be a pathological liar, which is mean he just lies as a matter of course, and then insults your intelligence in between those lies?
June is so boring. I wonder if there's anything on the radio here. On June 8th, the Mike Church Show will launch a broadcast contest unlike any other in history, and you'll see why June 2026 won't be just another June.
One of my favorite books is Jim Collins' Good to Great, and lots of people have benefited from reading it, including me. But few people have read his follow-up book, How the Mighty Fall. Now, over the course of the last 18 years, it's been quite the feat of survival to avoid becoming one of the fallen, but survive we have. And guess what else survived? The world-famous Dude Number t-shirt, which began in 2007. Now, to kick off the relaunch of this elite membership club, we announced a brand new t-shirt design, a brand new certificate of authenticity, and access to numbers that have only recently become available. Here's Jim to tell you how to secure that Dude Number that's unique and special to you.
Just head to MikeChurch.com/dude for all things Dude Number, including purchasing your 2026 version of the world-famous Dude Number t-shirt. That's MikeChurch.com/dude and join America's morning show, The Mike Church Show, and the Red, White, and Dude Nation's elite membership club. That's MikeChurch.com/dude.
I think I'll go to sleep and dream about piles of gold getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Here's a piles and piles of gold fun fact. When the Trump administration began, an ounce of gold cost $2,750. At the 17-month mark, with his Iran war and MAGA inflation, it's at $4,500. Now, we don't know where the $1,750 price difference went, but we do know that Mike Church has 1 troy pound of gold in his safe, and that he's going to give it away on July 2nd. And even if you're a neocon in MAGA clothing, you can still win it.
Win Mike Church's Pound of Gold. Tickets on sale now exclusively at winapoundofgold.com. Reposting Laura Loomer lies forgiven. Pardons sold separately.
In 1983, ZZ Top made the song and it was true from the time that song came out till around 2010, when girls stopped going crazy over a sharp-dressed man because men stopped dressing sharply. Cargo shorts, flip-flops, and tank tops became all the rage for men's public casual wear, to say nothing of how they dressed for mass. Well, as my listeners and viewers know, there's hardly anything more important to me than being a sharp-dressed man. And to help you become one, I'm introducing the official necktie of the Mike Church Show, Proselytize, whose designs are not only striking, they're 100% Catholic. You will look fantastic and like a sharp-dressed Catholic man in your Proselytize neckties. Available now in the Mike Church Show haberdashery at shop.mikechurch.com. Shop for ties, caps, t-shirts, and much more in the Mike Church Show haberdashery at shop.mikechurch.com. Caller number 7, who's this?
Hey, Mike, this is Bart Swar.
Bart Swar, the big winner today. Woohoo! Well, actually, Bart, it kind of stinks to be you because you can't compete for the second free ticket until tomorrow.
I know.
I'm sorry,
yeah.
man.
But I just wanted to make sure, I got, one of the RSTL&E calls for the first week.
You are a 7-year-long veteran RSTL&E winner, sir. So,
Yes, sir.
what are you going to do with all that?
Oh, I could use it, pay off some debts and whatnot.
Well, sounds
It'd
good.
Go a long way.
All right. You too can win a pound of gold free ticket. You just got to listen all day long or go to winniepoundofgold.com. Tune in tomorrow morning, 6:30 a.m. for the secret gold soundbite of the day. And we'll see you next time. Get your tickets at winniepoundofgold.com.
Mike Church. Some MAGA cons think he has a hole in his head because Trump's rambling bullshit goes in the right ear and then right out the other. We understand.
The Florida Republican Party has basically kicked James Fishback out of the GOP gubernatorial debate, saying he doesn't qualify. So it's going to be Byron Donalds on the stage debating Byron Donalds. You know, the stupid factor here, that these people think that we're all stupid. I love the fact that my man James Fishback yesterday, when something that Byron Donalds said, he basically said, you know what, Byron, either meet me on a stage and debate me or shut the blank up and go back to Brooklyn. You carpet-bagging hack. Trump thinks you're all stupid. The Florida GOP thinks you're all stupid. The national GOP, they sent me a fundraising letter. This is after I ended my Louisiana Republican Party registration. I have been registered as a Republican. in the state of Louisiana. Let me tell you, if anyone from the GOP is listening, we're going to get this message to them. You lost a party member who joined the party in 1980. 46 years ago, I joined the Republican Party when I registered to vote for the first time. So I could go vote for Ronald Reagan. That is the gravity of how bad the GOP, the Republican Party, sucks. Sucks. That's right, it sucks. And now I see the story yesterday where the Florida GOP says, well, Fishback doesn't qualify. How? What do you mean he doesn't qualify? He's within 3 percentage points in 2 very well-respected and regarded polls. Hell, he may be ahead. So, folks, as we get closer to the 250th anniversary, I think we should just have, and to celebrate the 250th anniversary of our secession from Great Britain, I think we should have another round of secessions, don't you? I'm all for it. Now, all is not lost, though, and all is not terrible, and all is not bad. Say, okay, so a bunch of Europeans have come to the United States for the World Cup. Now, I'm kind of confused as to why some of them are in the southern. Why are they in the south?
Someone flew into Florida.
Oh, okay. All right. Miami International, I assume. Okay. So some of them have flown into Florida, and they're making their way from Florida to the FIFA games, which I guess are in Mordor, right?
Nope, they're all over in different college stadiums.
Okay, so they're different. Okay, I think the main event, though, isn't it? I thought the main event, Trump said it was going to be in Mordor, I thought. In any event, so you have foreigners, you have Europeans that are flying in from all over the European and South American countries, but primarily the Europeans, to compete in the World Cup. And they're traveling across the South, and they're going like, what's going on here? Why don't you have chains with padlocks on the ice coolers, on the ice freezers outside the inconvenience store? Another one was commenting, he's like, you could just go into that little cooler right there and just pick a bottle of water. I don't need the code to unlock it. I don't need to go ask the clerk to unlock the little refrigerator or the little cooler unit there that apparently they keep under lock and key in Europe because the Muslim immigrants just walk in and take whatever they want. Oh, my, how very San Francisco of them. Because this happens all over California. Here's the reason I brought it up. There's a couple of videos that we have. We'll play the clips for you later. There's a couple of videos that we have, some of these guys talking about it. I've never met with such I've never been greeted with such warmth and kindness. And these people are just such a joy and a pleasure to be around, and the food. And of course, they're going, one guy writes back to all his friends and says, if you ever come to the United States, first thing you get when you get off the plane is fried chicken. Okay, I want to talk finances for just a moment here. We'll talk more about Iran. It's a Free Phone Friday. We're going to bounce around a lot here, so you're going to buckle in. As I'm speaking, James Fishback tweets this out. This is why Byron Donalds just said he won't debate me. Political polls. There's a brand new poll out today. New Florida governor primary. TPSI. This is likely voters, June the 9th. Donald's 42, Fishback 39. James Fishback has this much money.
0.0.
But he has a great campaign, and he has a great message, and there he is neck and neck with the Trump-endorsed, with the soon-to-be coronated Byron Donalds. And yes, we were following that story because I was the first to interview James Fishback the day that he announced on, I think it was January the 9th of this year. And he had made the arrangement to...
He's supposed to have a press conference today.
Oh, he's having a press conference at 11:30 today. 11:30 today at the Florida State House, right? He's going to be in Tallahassee.
At the Florida Department of State.
The Florida Department of State. James Fishback's having a press conference today. All the press is invited. I'll be watching it on YouTube. And I don't know. No, I can't because I have got a meeting with that's 11:30 Eastern, so that's 10:30 Central. We'll keep an eye on it. Here, I wanted to bring this up. Couple of little signposts here on the state of financial affairs. Don't call it economic affairs. It's not economics. Economics has to do with maximizing the resources any family has within the household. That's what economics is. They have completely stolen the term and have turned it into something wicked. Economics, economos from the Greek, just means management of the home, of the family's internal affairs. So if you want to call it finances, that's fine. How is SpaceX worth $135 a share when its IPO launches? I think it's today. Introductory public offering. Is it currently profitable? They're saying this is going to make Elon a trillionaire. And I have to ask the question in the grand scheme of things, why? How is this even possible that this happens? Not only is Elon going to be made a trillionaire, next month or whenever, when Altman launches the IPO for OpenAI, and then what's the other one, the name that I can't ever remember? Anthropic. And they go making 3 trillionaires now out of 3 guys that have done nothing. There's no business model for these things. So I have to, okay, where does the $3 trillion, where is it coming from? You mean to tell me there is 3 trillion with a T, that there is how much? $3 trillion, number 2. 3 trillion sitting out there on the sidelines? Is that in savings accounts? I would genuinely, really like to know if amongst all the savings accounts, which most Americans, especially middle-class Americans, don't even bother to open anymore because your money is worthless, is there $3 trillion out there? You know, I think it was in this year that student loan debt crossed $1 trillion. There's $1 trillion out there in student loan debt. And again, the question ought to be then, well, where did the $1 trillion come from? They got loaned to the students so that the students who are now broke waiters and waitresses at bars and taverns and restaurants, or who are doing social work and not anything with their basket weaving and Indonesian studies degree, where did that $1 trillion come from? You know, this whole smoke and mirrors things of how this this financial system supposedly works is quite frankly mind-boggling.
You're almost at $2 trillion in student.
Oh, Maggie's telling me they're almost at $2 trillion in student loan debt.
1.87 trillion.
So where did that come? Did you loan it to them? My daughters went to. My son didn't go. My daughters went, both got their degrees, one in biology, one in marketing and business administration. They both graduated and currently have this much student loan debt.
0.0.
Because I instructed them their whole lives, don't do it. It'd be the worst, most horrific decision you ever make. Don't do it. And so they began applying for grants and scholarships and in-state programs in the state of Louisiana when they were like 12 years old. Had grandparents putting money into mutual fund accounts for them. In any event, it can be done. So where did the $1.87 trillion come from? My question is where did the actual dollars that were given to the students to pay the provost at LSU or wherever, where did it come from? Who made it? Did they actually make it? Zero Hedge. Liftoff. SpaceX gray market trading signals 35% IPO pop. Based upon what? So my point is with this is that this is all a scam. The whole damn thing. It is all based on hypotheticals. No valuation of anything has increased that would justify the $1 trillion or however much is going to be invested in SpaceX. Now, at least SpaceX has some rockets. At least they have some infrastructure. And they have a somewhat of a business plan. Anthropic, OpenAI, what's their business? They don't have one. By their own admission, they say they don't have one. So I'm following these stories here. Here's another one. Resetting business. Xbox layoffs loom as new CEO supercharges overhaul. How are we having layoffs anywhere when we had the boomingest economy in the history of swimmingest, booming economy? It's all very mystifying to me. Okay, 844-527-8723, 844-5-CRUSADE. Here is your Golden Truth Ticket soundbite of the day.
Okay, Kelly. What is it? What is it you want?
Well, I want 15 Thompsons, 230 caliber machine guns, 2 bazookas, 2 field radios, and enough supplies and ammunition to last a platoon of men in the field for 3 days.
Oh, that all?
Nope. I want the intelligence reports for this whole sector, and I need them in the next 2 hours.
That's nice. What's in it for me?
Piece of the action?
What kind of action?
This kind of action.
Hello, is he? Yeah, it's me. Listen, get me a quotation for gold on the Paris market. Yeah, now, and hurry it up. How much more where this came from?
14,000 bars.
14,000 bars? 14,000? Hey, sweetheart, have yourself a bottle of booze. You're beautiful. 14,000 bars. Set up bow. That's beautiful. Where is it?
In a bank?
In a bank? You're getting pretty ambitious, aren't you? I mean, to think you can blow a bank and get away with it.
It's behind enemy lines.
Behind enemy lines. It could be the perfect crime. Hello? Yeah, is he? Right, I got you.
See, 7 carats, 2 gold, 54. See.
$1.6 million.
Now, $1.6 million. All right, Maggie, spin the wheel. We're going to talk about this. The caller number 4. Caller number 4. Thank you very much. Be caller number 4 when you hear the soundbite, the Golden Truth Ticket soundbite of the day played back. That was from Kelly's Heroes, obviously. Now, Kelly told him it was 100 and some odd bars. Now, these are the kilo-size bars. I want everyone to understand, because if you've seen the movie, you know that they take the gold bricks out. These are not your little golden eagle coins like the ones we're going to give away. These are the actual kilo-sized bricks that they supposedly keep at Fort Knox. Nobody knows. Remember in the early days, Trump 2.0, when Elon was still there, and Trump was like, "We're going to send Elon. Elon, how'd you like to go to Fort Knox, huh? How'd you like to go to a Doge audit of the gold at Fort Knox?" Nobody knows. You know that? Nobody knows how much gold there is. Nobody knows. Elon, you think you can handle that? You could Doge handle that? I think you could handle it. What happened to the audit at Fort Knox? Anybody? Bueller. To my knowledge, it never happened. Did you see it? I didn't see it. But I want you to think about this. We're going to go take hundreds of kilos of gold bars, and they are going to total $1.4 million. Now, in 1944, suppose that was the equivalent today of $200 million. Think about that. Today, right now, an ounce of gold, if you go to winapoundofgold.com, you'll see right there on the homepage, you can see exactly what today's spot price for an ounce of gold actually is. And I'm going to read it to you in just a second if I can ever get to the page. There it is. Let me refresh here. Our widget updates in real time. Okay. XAU, $4,210.16. If you times 12, that means if you win the pound of gold today, you will have won $50,521.92. Now, you're not going to, no one is foolish enough, well, I don't think anyone is foolish enough, that you're going to cash all that gold in at once. You're going to cash it in as you need it. So you're going to pay student loan debt off, for example. You're going to pay a mortgage off. You're going to pay a car off. You're going to pay another loan, all your credit card debt off. You know, you'll sell enough to pay it off, but then you'll keep the rest because it trades. It tracks with inflation and with the value of the currency. And that way you don't lose. Like I've been saying, Chris Payne, people still don't believe that the win a pound of gold, the Golden Truth Ticket Contest, win a pound of gold, is for real. We have someone that we actually know and that I've interviewed on this show who told one of our affiliate people, like, that's a scam. That's not, you're falling for that? That's not real. And then the person said, dude, Mike Church interviewed you. He put his name on it. It's on his website. It's on his Facebook page. Go look at it. The guy who actually won the gold has made videos of him handling the gold. And then so finally the guy comes back, okay. Oh, I guess it is legit. Yes, it's legit. This is the world in which we live in because currently hiding behind every golden opportunity is a scam artist and is a grifter and is a fleecer. So win my pound of gold, be listening for the soundbite of the day, but I'm trying to emphasize that if it's gold and silver, the value of holding what are called intrinsic worth items or precious metals. It's just a smart play today. We don't know. Is Trump actually going to pull the trigger on the July 4th revaluation of the market and tie it back to the gold standard, as Andy Schechtman, our gold sponsor last year, told us on several occasions? Some of you have heard the show. Interesting to think about. I don't know the answer to that. But I do know this. I will send you a troy pound of gold if I pull your ticket and you win it. So you should go get one or 40 today at winapoundofgold.com. What is this, Maggie? DHS announces Trump administration has located 146,000 migrant children lost under Biden. You know, we did the exercise of what is a million, and then what is a billion, and then what is a trillion. What's 146,000? That is half the population of the city of New Orleans, approximately, today. So imagine that half of the city of New Orleans, well, the city of New Orleans population is 380,000 last time we looked it up. So 146 is, we'll just round it off and we'll call it a third. Imagine that a third of the citizens of the Crescent City disappear overnight. Oh, I have it. Terry LaHaye's rapture. As if. So Terry LaHaye's fake Protestant Book of Revelation or the Apocalypse rapture happens, and a third of New Orleanians are rapture snapped, not Thanos snapped, rapture snapped out of existence. That's how many children were lost under the Biden regime. Now, this is a story that we have been tracking for a very long time, since before Biden, because during the first Trump administration, remember when we were all learning about the global pedo sex trade, we were learning of what happened to an awful lot of those kids that you saw back in the 90s and the aughts who wound up on milk cartons. Well, many of them, they weren't just picked up off the street and killed. They were impressed into sex slavery. And we have they're now adults, and we have the stories now that you know about this. And this is the part of the seedy underbelly, if you will, of life in the United States and in the Western world that nobody wants to talk about. That there are literally millions of pedo sickos out there. And yes, they're in groups. Watch the film. The 2019 documentary Out of Shadows. It's a documentary. Watch it. Well, we used to talk about it all the time. They've now made Out of Shadows 2. Unfortunately, nearly 300,000 minors remain unaccounted for, according to Mark Wayne Mullen, the new DHS secretary. He lamented that Democrats and their allies in the media continue to demonize DHS and ICE as they work to try and find the kids, telling reporters that investigators are examining horrific abuse allegations, including claims from some children that were raped 600 to 700 times. Now, again, we should stop right there and consider how it is that a civilization is even capable of producing the kind of monsters that are capable of doing this in such massive quantities. There literally must be millions of pedos walking amongst us. How does that happen? And many of them known. But you see, the pedos of the homosexual variety, you're not allowed to say anything about that because, oh, no, that's just love, you see. I don't think that that's what Christ would say about that, and I'm pretty sure that that's not what Catholic moral social teaching would say about that either.
The Crusade Channel, talk radio the way it should be. Broadcasting live from Madisonville, Louisiana, and streaming 24/7 at crusadechannel.com. When you hear the noon bells tolling, it's time for Angelus, brought to you by the Crusade Channel.
Membership has its privileges.
American Express was right back in the 1970s. Membership has its privileges, and no membership privilege is greater to a Red, White, and Dude Nation listener than membership in the elite membership club that is the Dude Number. Here's Lee to tell you how to get yours.
That's right, King Dude. Membership does have its privileges. And when it comes to the Dude Number, applying for membership has never been easier. Just head to mikechurch.com/dude to start the membership process. Your unique unique and one-of-a-kind membership and all the privileges that come with it awaits you. As a member, you'll enjoy private chat groups, VIP privileges to all Mike Church show events, early access to new Dude-geared store items, and of course, your unique Dude number.
Dude 1210 reporting all quiet on the Eastern Front.
This is Mike's favorite punching bag, Dude number 13.
Hi, this is Steve. My Dude number is 2112.
Dude number 2004, proud member of the Red, White, and Dude Nation, reporting for duty.
Become a part of something bigger than any talk show there is and apply for your Dude number today at mikechurch.com/dude.
Membership has its privileges.
I think I'll go to sleep and dream about piles of gold getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Here's a piles and piles of gold fun fact. When making Raiders, Spielberg chose the Golden Ark of the Covenant because he knew audiences wouldn't go, ooh, ah, if Nazis stole a parchment scroll containing a psalm. Now, we don't know where the lost Ark is, but we do know that Mike Church has 1 troy pound of gold in his safe, and that he's going to give it away on July 2nd, and you don't have to say, ooh, ah, to win it.
Win Mike Church's Pound of Gold. Tickets on sale now exclusively at winapoundofgold.com. Ark of the Covenant sold separately.
Hi, folks, it's Mike Church, founder of Founding Father Films, asking you to learn the true stories of America's founding by purchasing my movie, The Road to Independence, the movie. The Road to Independence tells the exciting story of the Founding Fathers' struggle to declare independence.
Boston, sir. Let me see. We command all our officers, civil and military, and all other obedient and loyal subjects to use all their energies. This is for you.
To use all their energies to withstand and suppress these rebellions, and to disclose and...
This animated movie comes complete with collector's booklets, DTS surround sound, and are packed with hours of bonus features. Learn the true stories of America's founding and order Mike Church's The Road to Independence on DVD and CD. Available now at mikechurch.com/DVD and by calling 844-527-8723. Hey folks, Mike Church here. You know, when I was a little cheerins, I remember loving the old Dunkin' Donuts TV spot. You know, the one with the guy who got up at 3 a.m. mumbling to himself as he went out the door and then back in his front door.
Time to make the donut.
Well, fast forward 46 years and now I'm the guy waking up at 3 a.m. mumbling to myself as I go in the studio door, then back out. Time to make the radio. I made the radio. I made the radio. But I have a secret weapon the Dunkin' Donut dude didn't have. Mike Church's Capuchin Holy Roast coffee in whole bean or ground. Our fresh, aromatic, gourmet coffee is made from 100% fair trade beans, freshly imported, roasted by my friend Kyle and his daughter at the Abita Roasting Company, then delivered to you so fresh your kitchen will smell like a barista shop. Good. So, whenever you arise to take on the day and listen to the Mike Church Show, do it the Red, White, and Dude Nation way by brewing up a fresh pot of Capuchin Holy Roast or my all-new Capuchin Holy Roast New Orleans blend coffee and chicory at shop.mikechurch.com. Caller number 7, who's this?
Hey, Mike, this is Bart Swar.
Bart Swar, the big winner today. Woohoo! Well, actually, Bart, it kind of stinks to be you because you can't compete for the second free ticket until tomorrow.
I know.
I'm sorry, man.
But I just wanted to make sure, I got, one of the RSTL and an E calls for the first week.
You are a 7-year-long veteran RSTL and an E winner, sir. So,
Yes, sir.
What are you going to do with all that?
Oh, I could use it, pay off some debts and whatnot.
Well, sounds good.
Go a long way.
All right. You too can win a pound of gold free ticket. You just got to listen all day long or go to winniepoundofgold.com. Tune in tomorrow morning, 6:30 a.m. for the secret gold soundbite of the day. And we'll see you next time. Get your tickets at winniepoundofgold.com. One of my favorite books is Jim Collins' Good to Great, and lots of people have benefited from reading it, including me. But few people have read his follow-up book, How the Mighty Fall. Now, over the course of the last 18 years, has been quite the feat of survival to avoid becoming one of the fallen, but survive we have. And guess what else survived? The world-famous Dude Number t-shirt, which began in 2007. Now, to kick off the relaunch of this elite membership club, we announced a brand new t-shirt design, a brand new certificate of authenticity, and access to numbers that have only recently become available. Here's Jim to tell you how to secure that Dude Number that's unique and special to you.
Just head to mychurch.com/dude for all things Dude Number, including purchasing your 2026 version of the world-famous Dude Number t-shirt. That's mychurch.com/dude and join America's morning show, The Mike Church Show, and the Red, White, and Dude Nation's elite membership club. That's mychurch.com/dude.
Most Crusade Channel wannabes only get the mission half right.
Men, you are about to embark on a great crusade to stamp out runaway decency in the West.
So why settle for half-baked radio hacks crusading in mono when you can get the real deal on the Mike Church Show?
Now go do that voodoo that you do so well.
In stereo. The Mike Church Show's Great Crusade is on the Veritas Radio Network's Crusade.
Hey guys, you got a minute?
Hey, what's up, buddy?
It's about my dad. He wants to have a sex change operation.
Whoa, I knew he was gay. I didn't think he was that gay.
No, Peter, he's not gay. He's a woman stuck in a man's body.
Yeah, gay.
It's totally different.
Sounds the same.
Well, it's not.
Okay, so he wants to be a woman so he can be a lesbian?
No, he'd date men.
Gay.
Yeah, gay.
Okay, this is not the help I came over here for.
Well, look, let's just all agree that he's odd, huh?
He has an appointment Friday with Dr. Hartman to have the procedure, and he wants me to go with him. I don't know if I can handle that.
Well, I'm sure your friend Peter would be happy to come along for moral support.
All right, but look, here's the deal. Anything he lops off, we get to bring home for Brian.
That's very green of you, Peter.
Let's do it! You gotta beat the clock, you gotta beat the clock.
You can boogie, love disco, love that disco sound. Move on your body, spinning round and round. But don't forget, oh no. Don't forget, oh no. The stars are 45, keep on turning in your mind. But we can work it out. Remember, twist the shout. You still not tell me why and no reply.
Sugar, honey, honey, you are my candy girl, and you got me wanting you, honey, sugar, sugar, you are my candy girl, and you got me wanting you.
The Oracle of Optimism, the Sultan of Sapientia. Mike Church here with you on a free phone Friday. Phone lines are open, wide open, at 844-527-8723, 844-5-CRUSADE. This portion of the program brought to you by the Win a Pound of Gold raffle. Your shot to win a 1 pound package of gold. That's a troy pound, so that's 12 troy ounces, not imperial ounces. Go to winapoundofgold.com to get your tickets today. Become an affiliate, and then you use your unique affiliate link to send to all your friends and family. Give them the chance to win the gold and have some financial and economic security that you currently don't have. Gold holds its value. Last year's winner, Chris Payne of Kentucky, is a real guy. You know how I know? because I talked to him on the phone, because I have emailed him, because when I asked him the other day, hey, Chris, could you make me another video of you holding and handling your gold? In 30 minutes, I had the video in my hand, and you could watch it on our YouTube channel or at winapoundofgold.com. That's not AI. That's Chris Payne. So I bring all this up because and this happened last year. So many people claim or are just predisposed to believing that everyone is a thief and a grifter, and there are no such things as giving away a pound of gold. Nobody is stupid enough to do that. Well, it's a raffle. It's a fundraiser. And yes, we actually have a 501c3 nonprofit. You can look at it. Here, go ahead, look me up. Go to the IRS. Go look up Crusade Radio Guild. You're so sure that we don't exist? Look it up, Crusade Radio Guild. You'll see my name attached to the 501c3. Yes, Maggie.
I was just going to say, and you can look at our past years. We give away cars, guys. It's not like we just sell raffle tickets and we never give out the prizes. We have a long history of doing contests like these, and it's great. Just pay $50 or call in to win.
Or call in to win when you hear the ticket, or pay $1,000 and get a lot of tickets. Get 20 tickets, and then your affiliate link. So if you use your affiliate link, you sell 10 tickets, I'm going to give you a free one. Does that sound like a scam? Tell you what, we're actually talking about this. When you get to a certain threshold in your affiliate sales, we'll even raise, if you're out there selling a lot of tickets, I'll give you 20%. We'll send an email out about the details of that. We're giving away tickets to people that sell more tickets. Does that sound like a scam? So we say these things because we had to confront this last year, and I've been in this business for 35 years using my name. I have owned MikeChurch.com since 1997. Tell me who in this business has owned their own URL and email address since 1997, 29 years. The Crusade Channel has been on air in our 11th year now. This is the 7th grand prize. 5 Kia automobiles. I can give you the names of the winners if you want. A pound of gold last year and a pound of gold this year. And I don't want to spend all my time talking about the contest because there's other great stuff to talk about. But, and people bring questions up like, well, yeah, what the hell are we supposed to do, you moron? If I win the gold, the government's going to come after me. Why are you going to tell them that I mailed 12 gold coins to your home? Who does that? Well, aren't you going to? I bought some gold in a promotion. It's an advertising expense. I sent it to you. You won it. It's a raffle. You know, I think in the cynicism of our age, people just don't want anyone else to be happy. They don't want anyone else to be joyous. They don't want anyone else to, you can't possibly get a real contest with real people, and you're not giving I suppose we're also not going to give a pound of silver away for second place. And for third place, we're not going to do the rare bourbon basket with the Blantons, the small batch single barrel Colonel E.F. Taylor, the Calumet Farms 15, the Peychaud Bitters, and the Woodford Reserve Rio Maraschino Cherries. I suppose that's probably not going to go out either. Those are your prizes. I suppose Steve Cunningham, who's actually attached his name and Sensus Fidelium on YouTube and 386,000 subscribers to the contest as well. Steve called me, said, hey, can I get in on the contest? I'd like to help with the promotion, and I've been wanting to do a contest, and I think I'd be really good at promoting it. And he is, and Steve is a part of it. So is Steve in on it too? Winapoundofgold.com. Go check it out for yourself and browse the site. Now, where were we before we were interrupted and accused again for being thieves? Oh, I know what I was going to do. See... Me trying to prove in the public square that I'm not a con artist and a scammer detracted me from this. Today is the feast of the Sacred Heart of our Lord Jesus Christ. I have even better news for you, though. If you go to nolacatholic.org/Sacred Heart on the Archdiocese of New Orleans website, you will find this. Consecration of the Archdiocese of New Orleans to the Sacred Heart of Jesus. A 9-week novena in preparation for consecration and home enthronement. So 9 weeks ago, Archbishop Cecchio challenged all of us in the Archdiocese of New Orleans to prepare our way and our hearts for the arrival of our Lord's Sacred Heart and the feast and the festival this weekend. Pursuant to that, he's asked for a novena to happen. He's asked for every home in the diocese to consider enthroning your home in the confraternity of the Sacred Heart, which is a process that you go through. And he's also announced this week there was a holy hour held in every parish and every church in the entire diocese. It hasn't happened since World War II that this has actually occurred. The last time it happened in homage to the Sacred Heart was in 1873 under Archbishop Napoleon Perche, a man whose life and career as Archbishop I have studied. I've given talks at St. Patrick's, Old St. Patrick's on Camp Street about it. Plan and hope to give many more. But Archbishop Napoleon Perche was a very devout and holy man. And the fact that Archbishop Cecchio, in one of his first actions as becoming Archbishop, said, let's consecrate to the Sacred Heart. He's also reached out to Mayor Moreno, Helena Moreno, because she's a Catholic. She goes to St. Jude on Rampart Avenue. I can tell you her home parish. And he's reached out to Mayor Moreno because he's doing the consecration mass this Sunday at St. Louis Cathedral. If you happen to be in New Orleans and you're looking for a mass to go to, well, I want to go to the Latin Mass at St. Patrick's. Well, do both. I don't think you're going to be able to get into St. Louis Cathedral, though, on Sunday because this has been announced. And he is going to do the consecration of the city of New Orleans. And as I said, he's reached out to Mayor Moreno and he's basically said, I think that you should be here. I have no reason to believe that she won't. So it's a wonderful weekend here, and has been a wonderful 9 weeks in preparation for this here in the Archdiocese of New Orleans. You know, you have these candidates out there like James Fishback, they're like dedicating their campaigns to the Sacred Heart of our Lord. What's going on out there? Well, I think that there are many people that are paying or are devoting more of their time to acting all Catholic and stuff in the public square. And I think that that is ultimately a phenomenally good thing. So let me say that. And Archbishop Cecchio says we continue to pray for the faithful departed in our preparation for the consecration of the Archdiocese of New Orleans. Eternal rest grant unto them, O God, O Lord, and let perpetual light shine upon them. And then, you know, there's a letter that he sent out just the other day, May the 26th, a letter from Archbishop Cecchio. There is Eucharistic adoration. Last Sunday for Corpus Christi, many of the churches in the diocese had them. We had it exposition and exposition of the Blessed Sacrament at St. Patrick's. So there's a lot of good stuff that is going on out there. It's not all blackness and a horror. Yeah, but Mr. Church, please, Trump keep lying, keep doing it. Don't worry about Trump. I tell you what Trump did yesterday that was good. He sent a proclamation on a White House letterhead proclaiming that saying that the United States Conference, USCCB Conference of Catholic Bishops, was doing a wonderful thing in consecrating the United States to the Sacred Heart of our Lord, and he fully and wholly supported it with Melania and offered up his prayers in unison with Catholics. That's what he did. Yeah, but look at all the other stuff. Well, you know, I'm going to point out that he actually did do that. That's a good thing. But there are some of you that are incapable of even acknowledging, yeah, well, he did it for it. Doesn't matter. So the motivation always matters. You know what matters is some 10-year-old kid out there heard, oh, President Trump is doing the Sacred Heart, the consecration to the Sacred Heart. That's what a 10-year-old heard. 10-year-old did not hear you in your blackened, cold, foreign-ass heart. Did not hear you second-guessing it and saying that it doesn't matter, it never does, because nothing ever matters to some people. It's the most mind-boggling thing to me. That's not going to, why isn't it going to matter? Oh, so you're back on the Trump train. No. But when the man does something right and he actually does move and does something that you are thankful for, don't you think you should be grateful? I'm not sure which Catholic church you people were raised in or which one you go to that requires this obstinately never budging, black, molded, hateful, cold heart towards everything. You know, Protestants looking at us going like, why in the hell would I want to become one of you? You people are miserable. Amen. You tell everyone else, you second guess everyone. You don't ever go along with anything. You never smile. Especially the ones that are out and active in social media. I mean, our public footprint is probably the worst of all the religions. If you look at social media, the people that convert probably don't have social media accounts. They probably aren't aware of any of this. So in any event, that is the good news. Now, there's also the feast of St. John of San Facundo, and you can find out, as a matter of fact, it'll play at the bottom of this hour. The saint of the day will play right here. My church will play it. You know, scam artist, the con guy, who's trying to steal $50 from all of you and stealing it under my name. Whoa, what a great crime that is. Ooh, what a genius. What a worldwide champion. Arch supervillain I am. They're going to steal all of your money in these tickets, and I'm going to steal it under my name. I'm even going to put it in my bank account. What a great crime. Oh, wow. Whoever would have thought of such a... Mike, that's the crime of the century. Think about it. How stupid would one have to be? Do you have the montage of the 39 times? It's probably not on the cut sheet, right?
No, but is it on your... is it on your X?
Yes, it is on my X. CNN put this montage together 39 times now. We've got a deal now. I think the Iranians are going to crack. I think they're going to crack. Jimmy Carter, until the day he died, was waiting for the Iranians to crack. The Ayatollah remained obstinate from 1979 till Carter died in 2025. It's 21 and 20. For 46 years, they didn't crack.
We have major points of agreement. They want to make a deal. And we are very willing to make a deal.
Well, I think we're going to end it. I can't tell you for sure when they want to make a deal so badly. You have no idea how badly they want to make a deal.
They want to make a deal so badly.
March 25th.
See a deal.
March 29th.
We were very close to a deal.
I think it's close
April
to over.
15th.
I mean, I view it as very close to over.
It's looking very
April
good that
16th.
we're going to make a deal with Iran, and it's going to be a good deal. This process should
April
go
17th.
very quickly. We're going to end that
19th.
war very quickly. They want to make a deal so badly. We think we're close to a deal, and that's okay. We're in
This
the
past
final
Monday.
throes of what will be a very, very good deal.
I wish I had a boo, boo, stoner. Yes. The sound effect. They're very close. They want to make a deal. They really want to make a deal. They don't even have radar. You know, the one that should have really gotten you the other day was they don't have radar. We snuck ships out and under cover of darkness because the Stone Age camel jockey cave dwellers that are the people of Iran. You know, this is the Fox News dossier of the Iranian people. They all live in caves or under the ground. No one drives a car. They either ride camels to and from. No woman has ever revealed anything to any man in the entire country other than her eyeballs and maybe her toenails. What are the other? They routinely drag people out of their homes that they think are trying to start a precious democracy in Iran, and then they get the supreme political leaders down there and they execute 36,000 of them at a time, and then they have to dispose of the bodies. You don't even want to know what they do with that. And they don't have televisions. They barely have the internet. Certainly don't have smartphones. Many of them are using telegraphs. They use smoke signals. It only takes one of our ballistic missiles to take out the entire radar array in the entire country. No one has a power boat. All the boats are owned by the Iranian Republican Guard.
They're at the bottom of the sea.
Well, no, the fishing trawlers aren't at the bottom of the sea. Just the Navy's at the bottom of the sea. Well, wait a minute. He forgot to tell you that they also have a naval base or two on the Caspian Sea. Oh, wait a minute. That's near Russia, though. Yeah, what about those naval vessels? Are they on the bottom of the Caspian Sea? No, they are not. Are they naval vessels? Yes, they are. Well, then how? Their navy is completely obliterated. They're like 6th century, I think. No, let's JD. Let's do 5th century. It is the Iranians that are negotiating to try and stop the Israelis from murdering more Christians, Catholics, Orthodox, and Maronite Catholics in Lebanon. The Iranians are the ones that are saying, no deal. You tell your buddy Netanyahu to stop murdering people in Lebanon, and we'll talk about having a deal. If they keep bombing Lebanon, we're not talking to you. That's part of the deal. And we don't care if you will reopen the straits. Oh, but you have him talking about the deal yesterday. Wait a minute. Okay, just play digital media file number 1. Here is and now on Casey's Top Lying Trump Countdown. Our next song comes in at number 39 on the charts because it's the 39th time Tannenbaum Trump is here with his hit.
You want number 2 because she asked why he thinks it's different.
Tannenbaum Trump is here with his hit. Iran has a deal on Mike Church's Top 40 Countdown.
Why are you so convinced that this time is different?
Because they've taken a pounding. They've taken a pounding like very few people could take.
It's a
pounding. And they want to make the deal a lot more than I do. And we could have had it done the other way, I guess, but it would have taken longer. They got hit very hard recently, as you know. And I don't like to have to do things that way, but I felt it was necessary. It's a great deal for the United States and for the Middle East, and I think ultimately great for Iran because they'll be able to build up their country and their country. I really believe it's a regime change because I find these people to be much more rational than the people that are no longer with us. We knocked out the first team of leadership, the second team of leadership. This is a different group. This is a different level, and I think it's frankly a smarter level, and it's a level that has reason.
You realize that's a war crime, right?
They've all approved the deal. Everybody's approved the deal. Now we'll get it finished up, and hopefully that'll be done. We will not have Iran having a nuclear weapon, which is very important to these people behind me. We can talk about fishing. There won't be anybody.
And blah, blah, blah. They will not have a nuclear weapon, which is it's important to the people of Topeka, Kansas. Because they were 14 days away from nuking. Your kids would have been nuked. Yeah, you can cry about gas prices all you want. They don't have a nuke. They're not going to have a nuke. They didn't have a nuke. And just the audacity of the whole thing. So yesterday during the program, if you missed it, when he said, we smashed their radar, they didn't even know we're sneaking ships out left and right. 22 of them, 150 million barrels of oil just in the dead of the night. That's why your oil prices aren't going down. They could go to Cabela's and buy a Lowrance for $1,400 and could have 48 nautical miles of radar capability on a 12-foot P-Rog.
I think I'll go to sleep and dream about piles of gold getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Here's a piles and piles of gold fun fact. In 1971, if D.B. Cooper had jumped out of an airplane with $200,000 worth of gold instead of U.S. currency, he would have $25.4 million in gold bullion today. Now, we don't know where D.B. Cooper's money is, but we do know that Mike Church has 1 troy pound of gold in his safe and that he's going to give it away on July 2nd. And you don't have to jump out of an airplane to win it.
Win Mike Church's Pound of Gold. Tickets on sale now exclusively at winapoundofgold.com. D.B. Cooper and Cocaine Bear parachutes sold separately.
The Crusade Channel and the Slaves of the Immaculate Heart of Mary's Sisters present the Saint of the Day.
Hello, Crusaders. This is Sister Maria Filomena with your Saint of the Day. June 12th, St. John of San Facundo, died in the year 1479. He was born in northern Spain in the town of San Facundo. He was a brilliant and attractive young boy, educated in the household of a bishop. He became one of the hermits of St. Augustine. His devotion to the Blessed Sacrament was so great that he spent every night from the hour of matins at midnight to the hour of Mass in the morning in adoration of our Lord in the Blessed Eucharist. He was often privileged in the saying of Mass to see our Lord visibly in the Holy Eucharist. St. John of San Facundo is the patron saint of Salamanca in Spain. He died when he was 60 years old. Here is his biography as the Church gives it in the liturgy. John was born at Sahagún in Spain of a noble race. His parents, after long childlessness, obtained him from God by prayers and good works. From his earliest years, he gave clear signs of his later holiness of life, for he was used to climb up on a high place and to preach to the other little boys and to exhort them to be good and attentive to the public service of God, and he made it his work to reconcile their quarrels. He was given into the care of the monks of the order of St. Benedict of San Facundo to be taught the first elements of learning. He became one of the household of the Bishop of Burgos, and that prelate, seeing his uprightness, took him into his councils, ordained him priest, and made him a canon, heaping many kindnesses upon him. However, that he might serve God the more quietly, he left the bishop's palace, resigned all his church income, and betook him to a certain chapel where he celebrated the Holy Mass every day, and oftentimes preached concerning the things of God, with great profit to all that heard him. He raised from the dead his brother's daughter, a child 7 years old. He foretold his own death, and having prepared himself by receiving devoutly the sacraments of the Church, he died. He was glorified by miracles, both before and after his death. These being duly approved, Alexander VIII numbered him among the saints. St. John of San Facundo, pray for us. Thank you for joining us for this brief summary of the life of today's saint. Tomorrow's saint is St. Anthony of Padua. To access all of our Saint of the Day recordings as podcasts, head to crusadechannel.com/saints. You can learn more about our sisters and contribute to the building of our convent by visiting stphilomenaconvent.org. I'm Sister Maria Filomena, and until next time, God bless and Mary keep you.
Caller number 7 is... Who is this?
This is dude number 1210.
Dude number 1210 is today's big winner. There you go. Hey, dude number. I'm not going to give you a woo. I'm going to give you a wah.
Alrighty. So I hear you got some Franklins for me. Is that right?
Could you tell me the Easter egg code word? Oh, yes, it is. Go! That's right, you got it. Franklin's is the code word, see? So it works. You get not one, but two tickets at one. This is like a juicy double mint bubblegum commercial. What are you going to do with it?
What am I going to do with it? Actually, I'm gonna bury it under my greenhouse.
You know what? It won't be worth any less if it's in the dirt than it is if it's in a safe. Hey, still a hell of a prize. Congratulations, buddy. You got two tickets. Thank you very much for playing the Win a Pound of Gold Golden Truth Tickets Soundbite of the Day game.
Oh, thanks a lot, Mike.
All right, brother.
This June, the Mike Church Show will give away the most incredible prize in broadcast history and change the way the world thinks about talk media and talk media hosts forever. Mike Church, Commander-in-Chief of the Red, White, and Dude Nation. The Mike Church Show is exclusively on the Ethics and Broadcasting Network. No apologies, no prisoners, no censors. The Mike Church Show is on the Red, White, and Dude Nation.
I do feel, Reg, that any anti-imperialist group like ours must reflect such a divergence of interest within its power base.
Agreed. Francis? Yeah, I think Judith's point of view is very valid, Reg, provided the movement never forgets that it is the unalienable right of every man or woman to rid himself or herself. Agreed. Thank you, brother. Or sister. Where was I? I think you finished. Oh, right. Furthermore, it is the birthright of every man or woman. Why don't you shut up about women, Stan? You're putting us off. Women have a perfect right to play a part in our movement, Reg. Why are you always on about women, Stan? I want to be one. What? I want to be a woman. From now on, I want you all to call me Loretta. What? It's my right as a man.
Well, why do you want to be Loretta, Stan?
I want to have babies. You want to have babies? It's every man's right to have babies if he wants them. But you can't have babies. Don't you oppress me. I'm not oppressing you, Stan. You haven't got a womb. Where's the fetus going to gestate? You're going to keep it in a box?
Here, I've got an idea. Suppose you agree that he can't actually have babies, not having a womb, which is nobody's fault, not even the Romans, but that he can have the right to have babies.
Good idea, Judith. We shall fight the oppressors for your right to have babies, brother. Sister, sorry. What's the point? What? What's the point of fighting for his right to have babies when he can't have babies? It is symbolic of our struggle against oppression. Symbolic of his struggle against reality.
Don't you know, it's a beautiful new day. Hey. Running down the avenue, see how the sun shines brightly in the street. On the streets where once was pity.
Baby Groot! Mr. Blue Sky, tell us why. Groot! Get away from here!
Mr. Blue Sky,
is a free phone Friday tradition. Yeah, play the Monty Python, I Want to Be a Woman clip, followed by the Electric Light Orchestra's Mr. Blue Sky. And then if you're watching it on the video, you get the scene from Guardians of the Galaxy where Baby Groot is dancing across the battle scene as the Guardians are being blasted to Kingdom Come, and he has his headphones in and he's listening. If you haven't seen the movie, the significance of it is that he's listening to Mr. Blue Sky in his headphones. He's dancing across the battle screen, and he's just going, "Oh, hey, Mr. Blue Sky," and then Zoe Saldana looks at him and goes, "Groot, what are you doing here? Get out of here!" And he goes, "Hi." So a very humorous, warm kind of Friday tradition here on your favorite morning drive radio and TV show. The Mike Church Show is on. Hey, big news yesterday. Thank you very much. We hit 2,701 subscribers on YouTube. Who's next? So I guess the next milestone will be 2,800, and then you can figure it out from there. Go to youtube.com/@RealKingDude, and all of that is completely and totally without the aid and assistance of anyone, with the algorithm being our complete and total enemy. And as you can tell, because as a percentage of subscribers, we had a pretty healthy listening audience or viewing audience every day. So subscribe with us today at youtube.com/@RealKingDude. But if you really want the subscription, then you need to become a Dude Nation Medal level member. Bronze, silver, gold, platinum, father, rhodium, elite. 5 levels. Elite is the highest. Starts you off with a 10% discount in the Dude Gear store for Father's Day, just in time. 15% for a Platinum, 20% for a Rhodium Elite. Plus, you get all the podcast series. You get the chat room. You get any event that we have. You're going to get first dibs on any event that we might have, and whatever it is we're selling or giving away or reserving. It's yours. So become a Dude Nation Metal member today. Go to mikechurch.com/dude and join. You get the transcript of the program every day, which I think is worth the price of admission, plus the podcast service. Podcast.mikechurch.com. That podcast player is the best podcast player in the business. And it works just like your favorite streaming channel. You're in the middle of last Thursday's episode and you stop because you got Uncle Bobo calls and you need to go help him change the flat tire. And you stop the program, you get out of that, and you go somewhere else, and then you quit the app. You go back, oh, no, I lost my place. No, you didn't. You open that show up, go right back to where you started. True story. You can make your own playlist. You can make your own favorites. This is all at podcast.mikechurch.com. This is for members, but there's a preview service there too. Thousands of preview files. You can go and watch today or listen to today, podcast.mikechurch.com. But it is part of your membership if you join. So, mikechurch.com/join. Do I really want to hear Lindsey Graham? Ugh.
Well, what I would say is that we're going to give the Iranians one more chance. And they don't do exactly what Ben Shapiro and Mark Levin said. I mean, what President Trump says that they ought to do. And then we're going to go in there and heavier than ever and destroy all of Iran.
Under what UN authority? By the way, I was saying this during the last segment. When he starts out, we took out the first level of leadership. We took him out. The rest of the world calls that assassination. Sir? You know, Push Up Pete and the other warmongering neocon hacks, Tracksuit Marco and the rest of them, they revel in running around bragging about committing war crimes. Let's be very clear. The United States, there are not two lanes here on Earth, especially in the affairs of state. There's not the lane that the U.S. occupies where we get, what, do you think this is an episode of Survivor and the U.S. got an immunity idol from the UN and from The Hague hanged around his neck? Oh, no, we're immune. No, we can kill anybody we want anytime we want. Can I ask the question of why that is like such the most coveted thing? Don't you want more healthier wheat to grow in Iowa? More healthier corn to grow in Nebraska? More healthier sugarcane to grow in Louisiana? Why isn't that a priority? I'm asking for a friend. Can you answer that question, Mr. Neocon? Mr. Fox, F-A-U-X, fake Fox News watcher? Why is it my priority that people that I don't know who live in a country 6,700 miles from here must be obliterated? We obliterated. Mike Church is never getting an interview. He's not going to get one. I think people should have to suffer through Lindsey Graham every now and then just to be reminded of how bad he is. Well, it's Friday.
We're all miserable.
Well, our Lord was certainly miserable on Friday, this is why you don't run around and say Happy Friday. No, we're doing abstinence from meat today, and hopefully a fast.
Even if it's a feast day.
Well, today is the Feast of the Sacred Heart. You know what? That's above my pay grade. That's a Father Glaude question. That's where's Isaaconis at when we need him? Ask Isaaconis. Do you get so what's it called? Dispensation from abstinence and fasting today, Isaaconis? It depends on the caliber of the feast. Like if it's a double major second class, or I don't know. Somebody above my pay grade. I didn't say it. You did not hear me say it. I said nothing. I don't know anything.
0.0.
I defer to a
Yeah, I defer to if Father Glob wants to answer that question, he can.
From under their nose that they don't even know about. Now, this is important. If we can break the straits, if we can break it open and actually force it open, they've lost all their leverage in Iran. If we can keep the economic pressure on, and Bessett's been great on this, we'll break them even further. We should unleash Israel, and we should use military force ourselves if they don't sign a deal right now. So here's what I'm trying to tell you. If you told Hitler...
Okay, can you just stop the tape for just a second? This is yesterday. They didn't sign the deal. Nope. So right now has expired. They didn't sign the deal. We can break them. We should unleash Israel. I'm sorry. Israel is a sovereign state. Why do we have them on a leash? I think you got that backwards, actually. Pretty sure Israel has us on a leash. It's very, very short. It's tight. It's getting tighter around our necks, and the American people, they don't like it, Lindsay. You know, the elite ruling class thinks because, well, Lindsey Graham just skated to re-election on a pro-Israel platform. It was a primary. I saw the actual, the returns from the primary. Somebody was going like, what in the hell happened to South Carolina? Well, let me just say to you, let me answer that question. In 2012, there was a debate for the Republican nomination for the presidency. They had it in Myrtle Beach. Remember this? I had it in Myrtle Beach, and during one part of the debate, American foreign policy came up, and Congressman Ron Paul was asked, okay, Congressman Paul, what's your answer to this? And Congressman Paul said, well, I think we ought to stop bombing people in the third world, and we have terrible foreign policy, and blowback is a real thing, and maybe we should, and then remember, Maggie, he said, maybe we should practice the golden rule in foreign policy. And he got booed. The boo birds came out when he said, look it up. Maggie, you can probably find it on YouTube. It's probably a happy moment highlight reel for Pawn Vanity and Lindsey Graham and Mark Levin, you big dope. Congressman Call got booed when he said we should practice the golden rule. Now, I'm sure that your average neocon is going to say, he didn't mean practice the golden rule when we staring down the Muslim horde. You're not staring down a Muslim horde. And if you are, it's in Dallas. It's not in Tehran. If you are, it's in New York. It's not in the Strait of Hormuz. If you are, it's in L.A. It's not in the Strait of Hormuz. I think what we ought to do, Sean, is we ought to unleash Israel. What can somebody define? What does that even mean? I don't even know what that means. Do you know what that means? Is that code? Wait a minute. I have it. That is not 4D chess. We've graduated from that. No, we are at 673-294-465-1765-34D chess now, baby. Nobody knows the game that we're playing. There is nothing good on the cut sheet. What happened to the foreigners talking about fried chicken?
Oh, I mean, I didn't put them on the cut sheet, but I have.
It's a free phone Friday. We can talk about whatever the Hades we want to, and I want to talk about foreigners talking about eating Southern fried chicken.
They weren't talking about eating. Oh, that guy was eating.
Was he eating? No, he wasn't eating McDonald's, was he?
No, he was eating Texas barbecue.
Oh, it was Texas barbecue. Not as good as Louisiana barbecue or mine. You don't, okay, if you can't find that, don't worry about it. How about the two black women on the podcast telling black people to lie to get on the jury? So the Carmelo Anthony case has exposed 6 decades. I'm going to tell y'all something. My friend Tom Woods, he's so funny. He's so quirky. So Woods is reading these responses from these blacks losing their mind over the conviction, the appropriate, justified conviction of Carmelo Anthony for bringing to an end the precious life of Austin Metcalf, 17-year-old Texas high schooler, football player, just happened to be a football player. And so Woods is seeing all these people going, well, this is just racist here. They saw black and they think guilty. Not a one of them had a kind word to say about the life that was snuffed out and brought to an end, and the grieving parents who are still grieving over the loss of their son. And the fact that they did get some justice that day. Instead, no. So if we're going to just get automatic guilty verdicts whenever we get accused of defending ourselves, well, then we maybe just start running around and killing people. So, because it doesn't matter anyway. This is a poison that has infiltrated and gotten into the brains, into the minds of blacks. This radio show, this TV show has been chronicling this. It got out of control during the Corona doom. We're one of the few that has played the videos or told people, look, I'm not going to play it because I can't. It's too many F-bombs to bleep up. You go watch it for yourself. The gangs of young black girls, I talked about this the other day, that go into the Verizon store and pick your medium, small, or a large size city, and they just go wait for a white girl to go in that store, and then they all go in there and they pick a fight and they wind up just throttling this girl. And that's just an isolated. It's not an isolated incident. You're wrong. You're wrong. There are gangs of black youths out there in every large city in the United States that feel as though they are privileged and they can just act as wrecking crews. They can destroy all the private property. Did you see the ones that were on that pulled the cab driver over after the Knicks won the first game the other night? Dude was flashing, I don't know, was it a Lebanese flag or a Lebanon or I don't remember what. I didn't look the flag up. So they pulled his cab driver over. Cab driver begs for his car. They threaten to basically beat him to death. This is a bunch of blacks celebrating the Knicks win. Oh, and a bunch of foreigners too. A bunch of Muslims. Stopped this guy's cab. Dude pleads for his life. He runs. They jump on the top of his. Now, this is supposed in celebration of the New York Knickerbockers winning an NBA final game. And they are clubbing his car. They destroyed it. They broke all the lights. They broke his windshields. They broke his windows. They basically ripped the hood off of the thing. They feel as though they're entitled. And this is what Tom Woods wrote in part. You know what, Maggie, play the clip. I'm going to go find what Tom wrote because I just want to give Tom credit for it because I think Tom is absolutely correct.
Be prepared. You're going to be angry.
For this clip?
You're going to be angry. Everyone's going to be
Everybody going to be, should I play the KKK took my baby away? All right, here we go.
They say, can you be fair? Don't say, no, I'm not finna put a black man in jail. Don't say that, okay? Because if that's what you're gonna say, you could have stayed home. You have to go and be like, no, I will hear the evidence. I can be fair. Don't say, I hate white people and I don't care what he did. Don't do that. That's what people were doing in this case.
Don't do that.
Okay, and then everybody's like in an uproar because there's no black people on the jury when damn near half of the black people who could have been on the jury canceled themselves out.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Okay,
so don't do that.
Don't do that. See, somebody in the comments talking about that's what got me put out. Don't do that. When you go up there, say,
who's the giggler?
No, I have never heard about this case. I can be fair. Say that. Okay, and then mean it. Believe it a little bit. Don't tell them you can't be impartial. You could have stayed home.
Because then you're going to be Easter egg. They say you're going to be, I'm rooting for everybody black.
Yeah.
I would have to remember that because I would be in there like, I would almost be too eager. Oh God. I would probably be too eager just to go flip mode. Do you? Yep, I do believe whatever you do.
They're going to kick you out.
You just said, I don't know who that
is.
Can
you just pause this insanity, this vitriol here? These are two women that are sitting in some of the finest, most comfortable furniture, wearing the finest, most comfortable, expensive clothes and jewelry, both sitting there with 16-inch MacBook Pros that cost $2,900 a piece. Both there sitting there with bling all around them and are talking into a camera. That's not a pair of professional podcasting microphones, as they call them these days. Talking into a 4K camera of some sort. That's an expensive setup there. All this was granted and given to you somehow in these United States that's so unfair to you. And so now you're going to go in and you're going to say that we're going to go in and we're going to intentionally throw the juries. Don't care if it's a black man, if he's being, don't care if he is being accused of diddling your next door neighbor's child, who was 13 years old and got her pregnant. Doesn't matter. Innocent. He black. Don't go in there with that. Tom Woods. If you read nothing else today, read Tom. Now, Tom was going to leave. Oh, man, I'm so sorry, guys. I dictated that out while I was driving. My punctuation is horrible. We'll forgive you. Tom Woods. After 7 decades of civil rights activism, we have a huge black population that believes murder ought to be legal if against a white person. Black students ought to pretend to be white on college applications, since we are said to live in a white supremacist society. Strangely, they do not. That's because the truth is this. White people in this 7 decades since the civil rights movement crippled their own children with preferential policies that favored much less qualified black applicants in schooling and employment. Any qualification that blacks couldn't meet at the same rates as whites had to be thrown out. Or you bankrupt yourself in court by trying to show, with a team of vulture lawyers after you, that the requirement was absolutely necessary. Countless jurisdictions have had to throw out entry exams entirely after no amount of dumbing them down could get enough black students to pass them. The campaign against gifted and talented programs, meanwhile, has been driven partly by the disparate impact doctrine. Yeah, they killed that too, right? You've heard some of the news items. Seattle phased out its highly capable cohort starting around 2021, 2022, and aimed for full phase out by 2027. The rationale, addressing historical iniquity and overrepresentation of white and Asian students. Your student can't have those programs because we've decided there are too many people in them who look like him. So let me cut to the end here because we're going to run out of time. And then he gives a bunch of statistics, and he says, basically, all across the country, there are special programs of every shape and size for minority applicants. If you had any idea of the scale of it, you would be shocked, no matter how much you think you know about the subject. Instead of the kind of gratitude you might expect from people who have benefited from the most systematic effort of any society in history to assist a minority group, it is never enough. And the recipients will scream, racist.
When you go out into the fallen, darkened world that most of America has become, turn on the Mike Church Show.
Hey folks, Mike Church here.
And let the red, white, and Dude Nation light the way for you.
Hey, we guarantee it works a lot better than that little Levite lightning bug, Ben Shapiro.
I've sentenced boys younger than you to the gas chamber.
Hop into your guilt-free ride into MAGACon-free conservatism.
On the Mike Church Show.
Hi folks, it's Mike Church, founder of Founding Father Films, asking you to learn the true stories of America's founding by purchasing my movie, The Road to Independence, the movie. The Road to Independence tells the exciting story of the Founding Fathers' struggle to declare independence. Jefferson lays out the reasons to declare independence beyond the storybook, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
That the question was not whether, by a declaration of independence, we should make ourselves what we are not, but whether we should declare a fact which already exists. That as to the people or Parliament of England, we had always been in...
This animated movie comes complete with collector's booklets, DTS surround sound, and are packed with hours of bonus features. Learn the true stories of America's founding and order Mike Church's The Road to Independence on DVD and CD. Available now at mikechurch.com/DVD and by calling 844-527-8723.
listening to the Crusade Channel, a Black Hat Studios media property. Broadcasting live 24/7 from Madisonville, Louisiana, and to the world via crusadechannel.com. We don't know if there's gold in the hills of Dahlonega, Georgia, but we do know there's a pound of gold in the Mike Church vault, and all you have to do to win it is listen for the golden sound of the day. Weekday mornings at 6 a.m. on The Mike Church Show at MikeChurchShow.com and on YouTube at Real King Dude. Mike Church Show News. News you can trust.
Because let's face it, the truth just sounds different. Like a symphony of facts.
And now, here's Janet Huxley.
Hello, Red, White, and Dude Nation. Welcome to Friday, June the 12th, 2026. I'm Janet Huxley at the Mike Church Show News Desk, live from the ranch in Kansas City. This report is brought to you by the Gold Truth Ticket Sweepstakes. Get your Gold Fruit tickets today at winapoundofgold.com. Here's what to listen for this hour. Trump says Iran deal is all wrapped up. The battle over trans kids in locker rooms continues. Anonymous tip claims Nancy Guthrie's grave found in Mexico, sparking massive search. The looming blackouts nobody is talking about, and NASA reveals crew for upcoming Artemis 3rd mission, next step for planned moon landing. President Donald Trump said yesterday a deal to end the conflict with Iran is nearly complete. He added that negotiators are finalizing documents and could sign an agreement in Europe within days. Speaking to reporters in the Oval Office, Trump declared that negotiators had reached a breakthrough and suggested the agreement was largely finished pending completion of final paperwork. We just made a great settlement of the war with Iran, Trump said. The documents are in pretty final shape, so we'll see. It should be done pretty quickly. Trump said the agreement would ensure Iran never obtains a nuclear weapon, which he described as the central objective of the administration's pressure campaign against Tehran. He also said the Strait of Hormuz would reopen once the agreement is signed, potentially easing pressure on global energy markets. And the stock market reflected it at close yesterday. Outraged Virginia parents spoke out on the battle for parental rights after a Loudoun County education official got attention for his statements during a Capitol Hill hearing this week. One concerned mother told Fox News she feels obligated to speak out against the long-standing problem, not only for her own children, but for others who feel they have no voice, who work for a corporation that they're afraid that they'll lose their job if they should speak up. We've been putting up with this for a very long time. That means there are boys in the girls' locker room. There are boys in the girls' bathrooms, she said. A father chimed in, we send our kids to public schools for them to get an education, and then for them to have to worry about all those policies that keep these kids unsafe. It's just not right. A group that works to locate missing people in Mexico said they searched for Nancy Guthrie after they received an anonymous tip she was buried around the border in an unmarked grave. Ramona Guadalupe Ayala Ortiz, head of Buscando Corazones Nogales, said the group received a tip on Wednesday about Guthrie, who was abducted from her Tucson, Arizona home more than 70 miles north of the border city of Nogales. The search for Guthrie came up empty. Our quote of the day: prayer draws into the soul the Holy Spirit and raises man to heaven, St. Ephrem. Coming up, a look at more lifestyle headlines. You're listening to The Mike Church Show and the Red, White, and Dude Nation.
Membership has its privileges.
American Express was right back in the 1970s. Membership has its privileges, and no membership privilege is greater to a Red, White, and Dude Nation listener than membership in the elite membership club that is the Dude Number. Here's Lee to tell you how to get yours.
That's right, King Dude. Membership does have its privileges. And when it comes to the Dude Number, applying for membership has never been easier. Just head to mikechurch.com/dude to start the membership process. Your unique and one-of-a-kind membership and all the privileges that come with it awaits you. As a member, you'll enjoy private chat groups, VIP privileges to all Mike Church Show events, early access to new Dude-geared store items, and of course, your unique Dude Number.
Dude 1210 reporting all quiet on the Eastern Front.
This is Mike's favorite punching bag, Dude number 13.
Hi, this is Steve. My Dude Number is 2112.
Dude number 2004, proud member of the Red, White, and Dude Nation reporting for duty.
Become a part of something bigger than any talk show there is and apply for your Dude Number today at mikechurch.com/dude.
Membership has its privileges.
You can learn about today's Saint of the Day in the Saint of the Day podcast, From the Slaves to the Immaculate Heart Sisters, by listening or downloading at crusadechannel.com/saint. Now look at more lifestyle headlines. America's power grid is teetering on the edge, and now the evidence is undeniable, according to Natural News. PJM Interconnection, the grid operator serving 67 million people across 13 states and Washington, D.C., is headed for catastrophic failure to meet its own operational requirements by June 2027. Goldman Sachs projects that spare generation capacity on the grid will plummet to just 14% by 27, far below the 20% safety margin needed to prevent rolling blackouts. That is not a distant threat. It is a countdown, writes the Natural News. And it means peak demand days will almost certainly result in power loss for residential customers. Here's the hard truth. The Eastern Power Grid will fail to meet its own operational standards by June 2027, creating a perfect storm for blackouts, potentially impacting millions of residents across 13 U.S. states. The system is already running on borrowed time, and government price fixing on wholesale electricity costs just made the problem even worse, they write. NASA on Tuesday revealed the crew for its Artemis 3 mission, the next step in the space agency's plan to eventually land astronauts on the moon. The announcement came 2 months after Artemis II's record-breaking trip around the moon that surpassed the distance record of Apollo 13. Elon Musk's SpaceX and Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin are also racing to deliver the lunar landers. The 2-week demo is targeted for 2027. Blue Origin suffered a recent setback when its massive rocket exploded during an engine-firing test on the launch pad in Florida, shaking nearby homes and illuminating the sky with an orange fireball. I'm Janet Huxley for the Mike Church Show in the Red, White, and Dude Nation, because ethics in broadcasting matters.
I think I'll go to sleep and dream about piles of gold getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Here's a piles and piles of gold fun fact. In 1971, if D.B. Cooper had jumped out of an airplane with $200,000 worth of gold instead of U.S. currency, he would have $25.4 million in gold bullion today. Now, we don't know where D.B. Cooper's money is, but we do know that Mike Church has 1 troy pound of gold in his safe and that he's going to give it away on July 2nd. And you don't have to jump out of an airplane to win it.
Win Mike Church's Pound of Gold. Tickets on sale now exclusively at winapoundofgold.com. D.B. Cooper and Cocaine Bear parachute sold separately.
Caller number 7 is... Who is this?
This is dude number 1210.
Dude number 1210 is today's big winner. There you go. Hey, dude number. Yeah. I'm not going to give you a woo. I'm going to give you a wah.
Alrighty. So I hear you got some Franklins for me. Is that right?
Could you tell me the Easter egg code word? Oh, yes, it is. Go! That's right, you got it. Franklin's is the code word. See, so it works. You get not one, but two tickets at one. This is like a juicy double mint bubblegum commercial. What are you going to do with it?
What am I going to do with it? Actually, I'm gonna bury it under my greenhouse.
You know what? It won't be worth any less if it's in the dirt than it is if it's in a safe. Hey, still hell of a prize. Congratulations, buddy. You got two tickets. Thank you very much for playing the Win a Pound of Gold Golden Truth Tickets Soundbite of the Day game.
Oh, thanks a lot, Mike.
All right, brother.
I'm pretty sure what's killing the crops is this last time. I'm pretty sure what's killing the crops is this Brondo stuff.
The Brondo's got what plants crave. It's got electrolytes.
So wait a minute. What you're saying is that you want us to put water on the crops?
Yes.
Water? Like out the toilet?
Well, I mean, it doesn't have to be out of the toilet, but yeah, that's the idea.
But Brondo's got what plants crave.
It's got electrolytes.
Okay, look, the plants aren't growing. So I'm pretty sure that the Brondo's not working. Now, I'm no botanist, but I do know that if you put water on plants, they grow.
Oh, well, I've never seen no plants grow out of no toilet.
Hey, that's good. You sure you ain't the smartest guy in the world?
Yeah.
Okay, look, you want to solve this problem. I want to get my pardon, so why don't we just try it, okay? And not worry about what plants crave.
Brondo's got what plants crave.
Yeah, it's got electrolytes.
What are electrolytes? Do you even know?
It's what they used to make Brondo.
Yeah, but why did they use them to make Brondo?
Because Brondo's got electrolytes.
And now more of what you bought your Dude Nation Metal Number membership for. The Mike Church Show is on the final hour of the week on a free phone Friday at 844-527-8723, 844-5-CRUSADE. Let's begin the final hour by Xing, going through the drill. You know how to do the drill, folks.
Oh, and remember, Friday is Hawaiian Shirt Day. So, you know, if you want to, go ahead and wear a Hawaiian shirt and jeans.
Friday. It's free phone. Friday. It's free phone. Yes, it is a free phone Friday. Up in here. Check out the big phone on Brad. And you can choose from the smorgasbord of topics we have talked about on the program this week. Give us a call at 844-527-8723. Not man or woman enough to pick up the phone? Fine. $5 will get you a comment at mikechurch.com/coffee. Ask your question there, or pop it into the YouTube chat with a tip. And I'll be happy to read it on air, give you credit, and answer it. Portion of the program brought to you by Father's Day Dude Gear Store sales at shop.mikechurch.com. Proselytize. You got your St. Michael tie. You know, we got a new camera angle, Maggie. You haven't, we haven't shown the Jumbotron camera yet. This thing is not perfected in any way, shape, or form. But in any event, that is the St. Michael tie from Proselytize. There are 16 different varieties. Beautiful, beautiful ties. Catholic couple, young couple, wanted to start a Catholic business, a business where they could act all Catholic EE and stuff. So they started making neckties. And they have 16 different designs. Perfect for Father's Day, ladies. That should be sold out. It should be any in that box by the end of the day today. Get you a proselyte while you're there. Get Dad a Cooking with the King Dude apron, a Cooking with the King Dude seasonings, and Manchipia Maria cigars. We'll have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Father's Day. You could even throw a book or two in there, like Jim Collins' book, Good to Great. So many great books. Lots of Catholic books in there, too. Many, many books. My version of Is Davis a Traitor is back in print with a brand new cover and all that in the bookstore. So shop with us today. Get Dad a roux spoon. Tell him to start making some good old-fashioned Cajun roux. All online at shop.mikechurch.com. Father's Day sale is coming up this weekend here, all day today and this weekend. There'll be an email going out with all the details. Shipping is free on orders over $75 or more. Don't forget the seasonings, especially the Beast and Butt Rub. Great for your barbecue. And 4th of July is coming up, so if there is going to be any celebration, you're going to want to have Beast and Butt Rub. Chicken Mamu and Acadiana steak seasoning on hand. There's only one place to get it. Shop.mikechurch.com. Your purchases benefit us here on the Crusade channel, the Mike Church Show, the Crusade Radio Guild. Shop.mikechurch.com. Sweepstakes.com. I want to finish Tom Woods before I do any phone calls, because I didn't finish with Tom, and I'd be giving a very short shrift if I did it. So, he's writing about the ingratitude of many blacks, not all of them, many, towards what has been done by white civil society to try to ameliorate the supposed injustices and historical suppressions placed upon them by all of us. So he goes down the list of the things that have been done. And there are many of them. He says, faced with statistics like these, this is where I left off. Behavioral differences are also evident that early, and they persist to the future. On average, black students are much less likely than whites to be described by kindergarten teachers as attentive, eager to learn, and persistent in carrying out assigned tasks. And they are more likely to be described as argumentative, quick-tempered, and violent. 3 discipline disparities persist over the entirety of the time. Later in life, blacks are 2.5 times as likely to be suspended or expelled from school as whites. Faced with statistics like these, so-called civil rights groups typically accuse white teachers of arbitrarily singling out blacks for punishment. To the contrary, black teachers have been found to be even more critical of black students than white teachers are. Moreover, Asian students are less than half as likely as whites to be suspended or expelled. And it is unreasonable to ask us to believe that an anti-white, pro-Asian bias permeates the American educational system. And educational disparities between the races persist even when social class is taken into account. So that comfortable explanation doesn't cut it. The crime statistics tell us everything. If you base your opinions on TV or the movies, you would think the big problem in America is white on black violence. In fact, the reality is so overwhelmingly the opposite that most people would be shocked to learn the real numbers. Per 10,000 white people, 3.4 violent crimes are committed against blacks. Per 10,000 black people, 153 violent crimes are committed against whites. In 2023, the percentage of white men in tenure-track faculty positions at Harvard declined from 39% in 2014 to 18% last year. That doesn't happen by accident. Oh, who cares about Harvard faculty, some will say. But it reflects a society-wide problem. Here are some other numbers we now know that also incorporate the anti-male bias in hiring. TV Hollywood writers. White men comprised roughly 48% of lower-level TV writers in 2011, dropping to 11.9% by 2024. You want to know why TV shows are so god-awful these days? Unwatchable that many times you get to the second. You used to make it to the third episode before they threw a homo curveball at you. You don't even make it to the third act now before you're confronted with toxic feminism. It's all over it. Medical school matriculants. White men accounted for 31% in 2014, declining to 20.5% in 2025. You want to go get surgeonated upon by a doctor whose only qualification was the color of his skin? You be my guest. The Atlantic staff, that's Atlantic Magazine. In 2013, 53% male, 89% white. By 2024, 36% male, 66% white. University faculty hiring, tenure track. At UC Berkeley, white men comprise 52.7% of new tenure track faculty hires in 2015, dropping to 21.5% in 2023. That's over 100%. Humanities, social sciences faculty hires. UC Irvine hired 64 tenure track assistant professors in humanities and social sciences. Since 2020, only 4.7 of them were white guys. At UC Santa Cruz, 59 assistant professors in arts, humanities, and social sciences, 2020 to 2024, only 3% were white men. Noticing a trend here, folks? Law school matriculants. White men accounted for 31.2% of law school matriculants in 2016, falling to 25.7% in 2024. Corporate tech entry and mid-level, specifically Amazon. Entry-level professionals, college graduates, were 42.3% white male in 2014. By 2024, mid-level manglers had fallen from 55.8% white male in 2014 to 33.8%. That's a 40% decline. Are all these things happening by accident? No, they are not. Tech workforce, specifically Google. White men represented nearly 50% of the workforce in 2014, dropping to less than 1/3 by 2024, a 34% relative decline. 4 years ago, a survey of 1,000 hiring manglers in the United States came out that showed that 16% of such manglers have been expressly told to stop hiring white guys. Further, 48% of hiring manglers say they have been instructed to prioritize diversity over merit. And 53% they believe they will lose their jobs if they don't hire accordingly. All across the country, there are special programs of every shape and size for minority applicants. If you had any idea of the scale of it, you would be shocked, no matter how much you think you know about the subject. Instead of the kind of gratitude you might expect from people who have benefited from the most systematic effort in any society to assist a minority group, I haven't even mentioned the literal trillions of dollars in wealth redistribution. It's never enough. And the recipients will scream racist in your face for pointing any of this out. Tom Woods' conclusion. My friend, we can hope that the Carmelo Anthony case accelerates the coming of the day when whites say, we have done everything humanly possible for you and received only hatred and ingratitude in return. You are on your own now. I'm not even going to tell you the stories that I can tell you, people in our family and people that I know who know people in our family that have experienced this firsthand. This is an outrage. Let me try to sum up what Tom is saying here in another way, Mike Church Show way. What he's saying is that since the beginning of organized civilization, this 6-decade-long effort has been the most systematic, consistent, and persistent effort in social engineering to change the social structure, the social position, and even to change how intelligence and success in civil society are measured. No country, no civilization in world history has ever attempted anything like what white people in the United States have attempted. And as we were warned about it before it began, it has now come to the time when the divorce and the end of it must come. And by the way, ironically, this benefits the black man. Because ultimately, when the black man doesn't have Big Brother to stick his hand into my pocket and take what's mine and give it to him, and he actually has to go out and earn it, he will learn how to do so. He is a human being. He has the same 26 faculty powers that you have. The animals have 24. We humans have 26. Where we have intellect and free will. The black man has them too. He will put them to good use. And if he doesn't, then he'll be like all of your brother-in-laws and your uncles and your cousins who are shifty losers who just happen to be white kids. He'll just be a black kid or adult shifty loser. And there will be losers. But at least those who don't want to be losers and who will apply themselves in whatever vocation it is, hopefully in a Christian, Catholic vocation, or will apply Catholic social teaching to their vocation, will make for a better civilization and a better society. This is going to end. And you know what? You can just read out there. If you're on social media, you can just read it. White people are like, you can just pound sand. Why? I don't care. Sing me your song and dance about how just privileged you are. Like the two black chicks I was talking about, they're sitting in a room with literally $10,000 worth of equipment, wearing the finest clothes and air conditioning, and they're whining and carping and complaining about it. That is the kind of ingratitude. Wars have been started for less. Now, there are millions of black people out there that are saying yes to what I just said, yes to Tom Woods. As a matter of fact, I would play you some of them, but they need to watch their language because I can't, because they're all filled with F-bomb. But I think that these Carmelo Anthony lunatics, what has happened in New York, what is happening with the destruction of private property, and people are going like, where did America go when I was a kid, growing up in the 60s and 70s? Where did it go? Just saying nothing of what it might have been in decades before. Where did it go? It's gone. They have systematically destroyed it. And as they have systematically driven Catholic social moral teaching and Catholics and Catholicism out, and the war is always, folks, don't kid yourselves. My Protestant brothers and sisters, you know this. The war is always on us Catholics. I don't even want to hear anyone say that it's not. It's always directed at us. And we should suck it up and say, thank you, God. May I have another. Catholic men need to stop being the whiny little bitches that they have become. And that's what they are. Ooh, such it's about me. Oh, I'm going to go and I'm going to post something mean about you. Oh, you didn't fast the right way. Shut up. You know why people don't want to become Catholics? Because of people like you. Where is the joy that they are supposed to see in mortification in you? You don't have it. You are incapable of it. So sing a Michael Jackson song. I'm looking at the man in the mirror. Before you start poking your finger in my eye, get the one out of yours. You know, I've been saying this for years, and I'm doubling down on this. Catholic men can fix America. It won't be perfect. It will not be a panacea. Perfection is up there. It's not down here. But at least it can be a society that we can call home. And you can raise your children in it and have a reasonable expectation that the state will be their partner or at least their accomplice in their attempt to win a blessed eternity. And that's what you ought to be working for. Instead of worrying about me or somebody else and what it is that guy's doing. Oh, you know what? He's not praying right. I said you didn't genuflect. Oh, shut up, dude. You're never going to get what you think is, we need to hit this perfection. You're not going to, you weren't made for perfection. And trust me, I know many of you, you're not perfect. Instead, you can work for the good, the true, and the beautiful. And that's what I say that we ought to all be doing. So you read Tom Woods' little Twitter there. It only has 87,000 views. You think it was suppressed? I think should have like 15 million views. And by the way, most people don't know this because he doesn't brag about it. Woods is a Harvard graduate. You know, Tom is not your average libertarian. Jet fuel genius, brilliant. A Harvard grad, mother. So, and author of too many books to mention. Free Phone Friday telephones. Let's squeeze Jeff Johnson in here. First up here today on a Free Phone Friday. Yes, Smitter Johnson, how are you?
I didn't get a harumph from that guy.
You're not going to get a harumph from that guy.
So we had a great Thursday night throwdown as usual. I don't know why that thing doesn't have tens of thousands of followers. I mean, we have so much fun every Thursday night.
I could tell you why.
And game shows was a great topic. I had fun.
No, it was fun to do the Great American Game Shows. I think we covered most of the big ones. And I would have prepared a much longer, I would have done a lot more prep because there was a lot to do, including there's so many highlight clips from there. We could have played Wheel of Fortune for a half an hour if we wanted to. But no, it was fun, and people are missing out. But you know what? It's the same old song and dance, people. Mike Church Show audience, and if I'm not on, even when I'm on, if it's not the morning show they're used to, you can't get them to do anything. They just won't do it. We've been trying for 11 years now, so let's just admit defeat.
Yeah, so quickly, earlier you were talking about the 39, we got a deal, we have no deal. And I've been looking...
I stopped the clock. You're fine. Go ahead, Jeff.
Oh, okay. Any rate, the 39, we have a deal, we have no deal. I've really become to believe that Adelson, Kushner, Don Jr., that whole Israeli billionaire club, they're all manipulating the market. They're running the highs and the lows, and they're rating our market for every penny they can steal out of it before it collapses under the $132 trillion in debt we have, including the the stuff that's off the books.
Certainly makes logical sense. That makes sense.
I mean, I can't see any other reason for this whole thing. Oh, we got a deal. Everything goes
They're
down.
gonna deal.
And all of a sudden, the deal's off. Everything goes up, and then they sell it off, and they make hundreds of millions. I mean, they've been playing this game for 2 months now, up and down, and while we're still paying, I mean, I go to the grocery store and I walk out with a couple little bags, and it's $100. I mean, it's insane anymore. I mean, they've made everything unattainable just about. At any rate,
did you hear Phillips call yesterday?
I'm sure I did.
Okay.
I listen to the whole show, but at times I'm cleaning out a house. Last night, if you looked at my house, it's bare. There was nothing on the walls. I'm soon going to be closing on it, and I will be full-time in Maine. Thank God.
Okay, so Philip called, and he wanted to know if I thought that Andy Schechtman's projection or prediction of Trump doing something on the 4th of July, the 250th, and some sort of super radical play to basically crash the bond market, reunite the dollar or our currency to gold, and basically wipe the debt clean, wipe the slate clean with the debt by saying, oh, no, and now gold is now $18,000 an ounce. Which,
man, I hope I win that troy pound.
And the reason that you would do it that way is then because if you said the gold was worth $18,000 or $80,000, whatever the number is that you need to get there, that erases the debt. Supposedly, this erases the debt. The valuation of the dollar goes in the other direction, and it erases the debt. Is it possible? I don't know. Can you do that by executive order? Nixon took us off the gold standard by executive order. Why can't you return it to the gold standard by executive order? I don't know. I only play a legal mind on the radio show, so I don't know.
But that would assume we have gold in Fort Knox.
Well, and we don't know if we have any gold in Fort Knox because wait a minute, what happened? That's right. The audit never happened. The audit never happened. So, as I said, why aren't people preparing for the joyous occasion, supposedly joyous patriotic occasion, Jeff, of the 250th, the semi-sesquicentennial? You should be telling me, King Dude, are you going to such and such for? Well, I don't know. Why isn't anyone happy about it?
Because everyone's tired of our government. This war is on, off. I mean, we didn't want this war to begin with, but we're stuck with it. I don't know, King Dude. This is definitely above my pay grade as well. But I'm very skeptical of what they're doing. I truly hate to think the worst of people, but I truly believe that they're just raiding the coffers before it all just collapses, and that's unfortunate. But anyway, let's go off and. Thank you for another week of great radio.
Thank you. You're welcome.
I'll see you on Monday.
Okay, buddy.
Love you guys, and I'll talk to you again next week.
All right, brother. Love you too, man. Hey, break it. Hold on. Breaking! Told you. This is from the Hormuz letter moments ago on X. Iran now also rejects Trump's claim that, quote, we have a deal in which Iran won't have nuclear weapons, close quote. Saying the current draft keeps the nuclear program completely untouched with no new commitments regarding not building a nuclear bomb. Enrichment of uranium or uranium handover to the U.S. per IRNA. The draft also requires the U.S. to pressure Israel to completely end the war in Lebanon, release $24 billion of frozen funds, pay Iran $300 billion as an investment fund for war reparations, lift the U.S. naval blockade, release all sanctions, and accept Iranian control over the Strait of Hormuz. These are Iran's conditions for the U.S. to accept. Only then will Iran sign the agreement.
Well, that doesn't sound close at all.
We got a deal. They're not going to have a nuke. Their enrichment capability was obliterated. I'm going to obliterate it for the 13th time now. Here, push the button, push the button, push the button, obliterate. Goodbye, nuclear program. It's bottom of the mountain, not the sea. The Navy's at the bottom of the sea. I won 87% of all the counties. Did you know that Mike Church is never going to get an interview? He's not. He's a market trader. This is exactly what I was talking about this morning when I told you that this was not going to happen. Now, how do you extricate yourself from the situation where the other party in the negotiation is saying that, dude, you came in here all unprovoked and stuff and just started blowing the kingdom come, our infrastructure, to the tune of hundreds of billions of dollars. You bragged about it. And we're just supposed to go, oh, thank you for the offer. Yes, we'll accept your terms. As I have been saying, the Iranians have still yet to crack from 1979 and the holding of 444 days of U.S. hostages. They still haven't cracked. But we're supposed to believe. Oh no, these people are gonna let go. They want to have McDonald's and lesbians and voting and all that. They want the free flow of fast food to come back there. They apparently don't care. And by the way, all this time, you don't think the Iranians are working their way through what's called the golden. It's not the Golden Pipeline. It's the Golden Trail, or the Trail of Gold, from the bay where the Strait of Hormuz is right there. It goes all the way to the Caspian Sea. Now they have infrastructure there, and they are trading with their neighbors to the north and to the east, and the north and to the west, and the north and to the south and to the west. But they are still trading. So they can't go out the Strait of Hormuz. Okay, fine. Is there another way to get out? Yes, there is. How do you get out of this? Well, how did you so foolishly get into it? You know, Johnson may be onto something. Johnson. He may be onto something that this was intentional. And they're just going to watch the whole thing crash and burn. I don't care. China never gets a drop of Iranian oil. It doesn't matter. Jared Kushner's making millions. Ivanka owns an island, and I have my own personal private nuke shelter, Vladimir. You can drink all the vodka you want. You can't get me. I'll be all high and dry in my shelter on an island in the Caribbean, in the Mediterranean. What are you going to do about that? The whole thing is just, again, dude, you're just, he is literally micturating upon the semi-sesquicentennial. Oh, but don't worry, though. We have hundreds of millions of dollars laying around to build the Octagon outside the White House. I love the inflation. My buddies in the MMF, WWE, whatever it is, are going to have a great show. We're coming here. The White House is going to put on a spectacle. I wonder who's paying for that. Back to the telephones at 844-527-8723. Hello, Jacqueline. Next up here on the Mike Church on a Free Phone Friday. How are you?
I'm fine. It's Mrs. Dude 2112, by the way.
Oh, Mrs. Dude 2112. Yes. You need to record that and send it to me, and I'll put it in the next commercial.
Oh, okay. Or would you prefer Dudette 12?
No. We did. That argument was settled 21 years ago or 19 years ago. There was no such thing as a dudette.
Okay, Mrs. Dude.
You are
anyway.
Mrs. Dude 2112.
And proud to be over 40 years now. Anyways, you were begging for phone calls, and I don't have a class, so I figured why not. Of course, Jeff Johnson beat me to it and stole my thunder. But anyways, I was going to talk to you about the show last night.
About the America's Greatest Game Shows?
Yes, our exclusive little TNT club, because nobody else wants to tune in. Anyways, we didn't mention one that I think would be fantastic. That's The Weakest Link.
Oh, yes! Oh, she was such a wench. She was so mean.
And we could use that. We could put the politicians in the competition and figure out which one is the weakest link.
Oh my goodness! Do we get to execute them at the end?
I just want to hear them say, "You are the weakest link."
You are the weakest link. I'm not. Tell him I'm not, Melania. I'm not the weakest link. I'm not. Oh, Jacqueline, just gave me an idea for a comedy bit. I'm going to make it. I'm writing it in my head as you're speaking. You, sir.
Good. I'm glad I gave you some fodder.
You, sir. You, Mr. Trump, are the weakest link. No! Oh, my Lord. That is so funny. You know what? How did we miss that?
I have no idea.
Well, all the countdown sites that I went to, they all missed it, too.
Oh, that's true. Well, you mean you were Googling?
I went to
Googling?
I went to a half a dozen, like Entertainment Weekly had one. I mean, not that they're an authority, but Variety had one. There was a guy that is a movie reviewer. He had one. I went to about a half a dozen, and I did not see The Weakest Link. Okay, good catch. Thank you.
The thing that did that for me was today when we were talking about the governor's race in Florida, because the whole thing with the debate and everything else, and it's like, well, that is the problem because, Fishback is stronger, and he's definitely not the weakest link. The weakest link is the other guy. I can't remember his name. What is
Byron Donalds.
Byron Donald. I don't even bother because the only name I have in my mind is Fishback. I even got some text messages from the other side trying to get me to come across, and I texted them back and said, "It's Fishback all the way. Please don't contact me again." So there you go.
And it's what I think is the most interesting thing about the entire Fishback phenomenon, or phenom, because it is a phenom, is that it has the Florida Republican Party and now the National Republican Party completely and totally shocked and stumped. Their answer to James is there is no James. That is not going to work. Nope. Their answer to James Fishback is what? What James Fishback? There is no James Fishback. You're just going to make more James. You keep doing that, you're going to make more James Fishbacks.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Is he even going to be on the primary? I mean, that's the only reason why Steve and I are still, members of the Republican Party is because we want to be able to vote for him in the primary. But if he's not even going to be on there, I guess we can write him in.
He qualified to get on the ballot. He's on, as far as I know, he's qualified to be on the ballot. He's on the ballot. They can't take him off the ballot. Unless you know something I don't. No, I believe that James Fishback will be on the ballot. Now, apparently, the Donalds campaign and the RNC and the Florida Republican Party, which is apparently as crooked as any of them, have decided that the only way they're going to get their guy across the finish line is to just pretend that the other guy doesn't exist. While over a third of Floridian Republican primary voters say, "Oh no, yeah, he does exist." And we prefer him over your guy. We can't even get your guy to answer a question. So, yeah, I think, again, you know what this is? This is, here's a good reference for people. Let's go back to the summer of 1981, one of the greatest summers of my adult life. Go back to the summer of 1981. Number one box office comedy movie was what? Caddyshack. What would the original movie poster? I could see it now. You Google Caddyshack original movie poster, and you'll see it's Rodney Dangerfield and Ted Knight, and the caption is "It's the snobs versus the slobs," and not that we're slobs, but that's basically what. And Caddyshack was set where? At oh gosh, what's the name? It's not Bushwood. It's in oh gosh, it's the city next to Coral Springs, Florida. Starts with an M. Oh gosh, what's it called? It's at that golf course. I played that golf course when I lived in Coral Springs. It is at that golf course. So it's in Caddyshack is actually set in Florida, and it's perfect. It's the GOP snobs versus the populist, real America first slobs. It's just so perfect. All right, Jacqueline, thank you very much, and thanks for the tip. Great suggestion on that. Appreciate it.
All righty, take care.
All right, talk soon. Folks, I'm going to take this much ballyhooed and belayed time out and come back. I'm going to do one movie review this week, just one, because I still haven't finished the movie that I want to review. And I'm going to talk a little bit about Spielberg's film, even though I haven't reviewed it. I'm going to tell you what other people are saying about it, about Disclosure, the Disclosure Day, right when we come back after this.
Show has been the industry leader in promotions, giving away 5 cars in the last 8 years alone. But nothing can prepare you for the greatest giveaway event in broadcast history. Coming June 8th.
Hello, Red, White, and Dude Nation. I'm Janet Huxley at the Mike Church Show News Desk with your crucials for Friday, June the 12th, 2026. This report is brought to you by the Gold Truth Ticket Sweepstakes. Get your Gold Fruit tickets today at winapoundofgold.com. In the market report, all 3 major indexes were up again, and the Dow was up 1.86%. The S&P rose 1.75%. NASDAQ soared 2.54%. Today, in National Day calendar news, it is National Loving Day, commemorating the day the U.S. Supreme Court in 1967 ruled there can be no doubt that restricting the freedom to marry solely because of racial classifications violates the central meaning of the Equal Protection Clause. It's also National Red Rose Day. Red roses were used in many early cultures as decorations in wedding ceremonies and wedding attire. It was through this practice the red rose eventually became known as a symbol of love and romance. Today is National Peanut Butter Cookie Day. Alabama's American agricultural extension educator George Washington Carver promoted the peanut extensively. Well known for his promotions, Carver compiled 105 peanut recipes from various cookbooks, agricultural bulletins, and other sources. And in 1916, he created a research bulletin. It's also National Movie Night. Our quote of the day: prayer draws into the soul the Holy Spirit and raises man to heaven. Saint Ephrem. You can learn about today's saint in the Saint of the Day podcast, From the Slaves to the Immaculate Heart Sisters, by listening or downloading at crusadechannel.com/saint. You're listening to The Mike Church Show in the Red, White, and Dude Nation.
Hi, folks. It's Mike Church, founder of Founding Father Films, asking you to learn the true stories of America's founding by purchasing my movie, The Spirit of 76. The Spirit of 76 details the true story of the writing and ratifying of the U.S. Constitution.
Who authorized them to speak the language of we, the people, instead of we, the states? States are the characteristics and the soul of a confederation. If the states be not the agents of this compact, it must be one great...
This animated movie comes complete with collector's booklets, DTS surround sound, and is packed with hours of bonus features. Learn the true stories of America's founding and order Mike Church's The Spirit of 76 on a 2-DVD or 3-CD set. Available now at mikechurch.com/DVD and by calling 844-527-8723.
Yep.
Yep.
So, are we gonna do this regenerative farming thing or what?
Yep.
Who you calling degenerate?
Tommy, that's regenerate.
It means to recycle the earth, not till it to death.
Great, because I'm cycling rounds with Vera till death.
We're gonna starve to death, y'all.
Don't be a Tommy. Stock up on regenerative farming books and books to farm by in the Founders Trading Post. Books by Father Dennis Fahey, Father Vincent McNabb, Hilary Belloc, and many, many more. And remember, these books aren't just how-tos on moving earth, livestock, and sowing seeds. These books teach the family economy that flourishes on the small family farm, homestead, and yep, even suburban development. So start your collection and start your learning and change your family life for the better today. All books available at mikechurch.com/farm.
Hey, Rick, this row needs another pass. Where's the regenerate switch on this shovel?
I think I'll go to sleep and dream about piles of gold getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Here's a piles and piles of gold fun fact. The first gold rush wasn't in California or in Alaska. It was in Dahlonega, Georgia in 1829 and lasted until the last gold mine closed around 1910. Now, some people say that there's still gold in them there Georgia hills. We don't know about that, but we do know that Mike Church has 1 troy pound of gold in his safe, and he's going to give it away to one of you on July 2nd.
Win Mike Church's Pound of Gold. Tickets on sale now exclusively at winapoundofgold.com. Vacation sold separately. The Mike Church Show has a message for listeners. When we were children, we collected guinea pigs. Now, living under fake Christian Zionism, we are guinea pigs.
2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3.
Staying alive in too much heaven. All right, people asked me last week to bring back the Bee Gees Super Medley, and I didn't do it because I don't have all my Bee Gees songs assembled here. But I just did give you a pro radio announcer disco mix, basically. So we started off with the Serban mix of Staying Alive, which was never a single and was only released one time, and it was on the actual double album set that is Saturday Night Fever. If you have the album, it's on it. And then crossfaded it to the actual number one hit single. Was released by RSO Records on that label and is on the Bee Gees' 1967-1990 compilation called A History of Song. So there you go. You did kind of get a medley. And by the way, I didn't time that in advance. I was trying to count the beats in between the last. In any event, I hope you enjoyed it. Mike Church Show here. I played the Golden Truth ticket soundbite of the day. It's Friday. It's a big payday. Maggie wants to sleep all weekend long. She's not going to until we get to 1,000 tickets. Today and this weekend is the day. Now, look. Most people that are running nonprofits of any sort, and we are running one, and trying to keep this radio station alive and on the air. And of course, Steve Cunningham from Sensus Fidelium is, man, I was on his YouTube channel. He has like 100 videos scheduled to go that haven't even been published yet that he's put together. So the guy never sleeps. He's working tirelessly on his site all the time. And I think he would like to actually have someone to assist him is one of the reasons he asked to join the fundraising so that the contest was a smashing success we all know it can be, which is to sell the 10,000 tickets. Well, we're not going to do it without your help. So please send the link out after you buy your ticket. So you become an affiliate. You go back to winapoundofgold.com, click the affiliate tab. I'm going to make a video on all this just in case you need some instructions. And then you get your unique affiliate link and send it to everyone you know. It doesn't cost you anything. We're not asking you to be a salesperson. We have done all the sales materials in advance. They're all on the site. They're on the ads on Pride Book. They're on other ads. And you can grab the ads. They're in your affiliate program. Under creatives, and we're going to stock many more of them up today and tomorrow. So you become then the advertising agency. Every time you send your link out, and someone uses it to go, hey, I want to win a pound of gold. $50 for a 1 in 10,000 chance? Nobody does that. Who does that? Mike Church. I'm hoping that Mr. Beast finds out about this and goes like, I like the way these guys are doing this contest. This is the way it ought to be done. I hope Jimmy sees it and gives me a little wink, wink. But regardless, enjoy the game. Compete against your friends. Try to become the leading affiliate salesperson. Maybe there is going to be a prize that's going to be announced for that. So go to winapoundofgold.com today, and there's a lot that can be done with $51,280 worth of gold today. By the way, so winapoundofgold.com. It's not just about buying a ticket and sitting back. It's about becoming part of something bigger than yourself. And that is, don't you want to say, hey, I was one of the people that helped Mike and Steve get to that 10,000 ticket with my affiliate link. Good job. Well done, gentlemen. Good job. The little guys finally won one. Don't you want to be a part of that? But you can't do it if you don't buy a ticket, at least one, and become an affiliate. I say you buy 10. winapoundofgold.com. And thank you very much in advance. During the timeout, remember I read you the statement from the Iranians and saying that, no, here are the conditions under which we will agree to a deal. As soon as the White House sees that, they come out with their own statement and they leak it to people, to the official propaganda news agency of this. The Trump administration is Fox News. Yes.
Did you see what Trump said?
No. Maggie, I'm hosting shows. I don't have time. No, what did he say? Okay, so I told you what the Iranians said, which $24 billion of frozen funds, release them. $300 billion in investment fund for war reparations, yeah, give us that. The Strait of Hormuz is ours, it's not yours. We get control back. And we're not handing you over our enriched uranium. It's not going to happen, so stop asking for it. Then the White House comes out and says, complete and total obliteration of all uranium. You're going to give it all up. Moments after what I read you last segment comes out, it's leaked to Fox News. The following. Breaking! Hold on. Breaking! A White House official says Iran has agreed to a performance-based deal that would require major concessions before receiving any sanctions relief. According to the official, Iran's nuclear material would be destroyed and removed, its nuclear program dismantled, and none of its money released until it fulfills its commitments. The official says the Strait of Hormuz would remain open and Iran would agree to stop funding terrorist groups. Who wrote that? Mark Levin? That's like a sixth grader wrote that. Oh, this is what's going to happen. They're going to give everything up. Now, who do you believe? Trump and his 39 times. We have a deal. The Iranians want to make it. They're going to give everything up. We're going to send JD in to run it. A tracksuit Marco is going to become president. Who believes this? I certainly don't. All right, let's do some movie reviews so we can get out of here. I didn't. You sent. Oh, hang on. Oh. The term, and then Trump comes out and goes, the terms that Iran leaked out to the fake news have nothing to do with the terms that were agreed to in writing. So in other words, we had a deal, now they're reneging on it. What they said, including their weak and pathetic statement on having a deal, bears no relation to the truth. Very dishonorable people to deal with. Oh, that's pot, kettle, hey, black. With them, there was no such thing as dealing in good faith. Amazing. Also, their totally rebuffed drone attack last night against Indian ships leaving the Hormuz Strait is totally unacceptable. They better get their act together and fast. This is just more of stupid bravado that you're supposed to believe. Note that where is the White House official leaking to? Not to the New York Times. Not to the Washington Post, not to the Wall Street Journal, to Fox News, their propaganda media outlet. That's who they leak to. You're not stupid, and I'm not stupid. And it seems to me that, you read a statement from the Iranians, and it looks like an adult wrote it. You read a statement from the Americans, and it looks like J.D. Vance's son wrote it. Or Mark Levin wrote it after sipping a half a bottle of Manischewitz. So there's no deal. They're going to agree to it tonight. They're drones. Now, I have to ask the question also, Mr. President. How did the Iranians get a drone to attack a Indian ship last night? Remember, their army is obliterated. They don't even have radar. Their sailing ships, their fishing vessels and trawlers don't even have Lowrances on them. You snuck 22 1,000-foot-long tanker ships out in one night under the cover of darkness, and no one on Earth, including satellites, and the Chinese didn't see it. But now all of a sudden, wait a minute, the Iranians are flying sortie missions with drones in the Persian Gulf and attacking Indian ships? Why would they attack an Indian? What did the Indians do to them? Also ridiculous. Maggie, I want to talk about the Disclosure Day movie, which apparently everyone is savaging that has seen it. It's awful. This is what happens when you stay longer than you should in your chosen field and you've run out of ideas. Spielberg. This is Father Dan Rehill. So people are asking him, Father, can you actually get a bogey on you by watching a movie that has aliens, which could be bogeys, demon in them? And Father says, well, okay, well, let me tell you, here's the way it could happen.
the movie itself, I'm not saying this is what was done, but this could be done. The movie could be consecrated to Satan, and demons can be attached to the movie. This used to happen with heavy metal bands. Big rock bands would consecrate their albums to Satan, and even have black masses to attach demons to the people who would listen to the music. That I learned from Father John Carapi, who used to be, multimillionaire in L.A. and was invited to some of these things. So he saw it firsthand witness. But they could do that with a movie. That demons would attach, demons of unbelief, demons of fear, demons of terror would attach to people and shake their faith, So that might be one reason to not go to the movie. I'm not saying that's what they did. I'm just saying that could be done. They could put a curse over the film that all who watch it would be, have demons provoke them. It could happen. We don't know if it did, but it could. Okay? So, when a new discovery appears to challenge the assumptions of a culture, it's possible that the worldview begins to crumble. But the Catholic should never be in danger of that, because Jesus said, heaven and earth will pass away, but my words will not pass away.
I think that is word of wisdom there. My friend John Daniel Davidson at The Federalist says about him, Spielberg seems to think the existence of an advanced alien civilization would shatter or at least reorder the religious commitments of us earthlings, especially Christians who believe that God has fully revealed himself in his Son, Jesus Christ. The notion that an advanced alien species would shake or even break that faith has been the assumption of a lot of sci-fi over the years, much of which posits a fundamentally materialist view of the cosmos. If superintelligent aliens really exist, then maybe all our notions about the supernatural and the spiritual have been wrong and will become untenable in the light of higher alien civilizations. Spencer Clavin argues in the Wall Street Journal that that's not necessarily so. Aliens, he says, quote, might astound us by finding our ideas about creation consonant with, even similar to their own, close quote. Rather than affirm the materialist assumptions of the modern era or undermine the foundations of religious belief, an alien civilization might be equally likely to strengthen them beyond measure. It's not an unprecedented view. Indeed, as Clavin notes, C.S. Lewis posits something similar in his Space Trilogy, imagining rational animals on Mars and an unfalling world on Venus, all beloved children of the Christian God. And then there's much more on that. I think we'll talk more about it on Monday. I'm not going to go see the movie. I'm not either. And John Daniel talks about what Father Rippercher has said about it. I'm going to try and get a priest on the show to talk about this. Steve Cunningham has put me in touch with one who I believe did go see the movie. And if he did, then I will talk to him about it. I think that what John Daniel said and what Clavin said are pretty close. I would just add this, and I've suffered a lot of ignominy hurled my way because I had the unmitigated gall and audacity to interview Paul Thigpen before he died on his book on the Catholic faith and extraterrestrials. I never told anyone, and I never said, I'll just repeat this again for all of you out there to keep lying about me. I never said I agreed with Thigpen. And I never said that Thigpen was right. I said Thigpen has made exactly what I said. I said Dr. Thigpen has made a solid case in his book if you read it. I didn't say it was correct. I didn't say that I was bowing down, throwing my aliens or Catholics on the prayer mat on the floor. I simply made the intellectual statement that Dr. Thigpen, he's dead now, he died. God rest his soul. Eternal rest grant unto him, O God, let perpetual light shine upon him. May he rest in peace. Amen. I simply said that in his book, he made what I thought was a compelling case. I didn't say I agree with it. Here, at the end of the day, it is not necessary to my salvation to pick a side on E.T. I don't have to do it. I could say, throw my hands up like this and go, I don't know. Which is pretty much what I have done. Just to avoid the acrimony of it. So I would just add that. If I want to watch a science fiction movie or read a book that includes extraterrestrials in it, I'm not going to ask your permission to do it. I'm just going to do it. And if you don't like it, well, then that's just tough female appendage on you. That's on you. That's not on me. I don't police everything that you do. Yeah, but you come on in, you talk about it. Hey, I'm talking about something that is a work of fiction. I am allowed at the church. You know, man. In these instances, maybe it would be good to bring the index back, the Catholic index, forbidden works. Of course, all the Holy Father would have to weigh in, and he'd say, "I am putting Disclosure Day on the index. Problem solved. Catholics can't go see it. You can't read the book about it. Don't go watch the film, etc." You know, we used to have this, the index of forbidden works. Okay, well, bring it back then. Make the church watch the movies. It's actually probably a pretty good idea. You'd have a lot. It would probably take you 3 days to read that list today, but at least it would be there. So I'm not picking a side on this. I will say this, though. Again, I think that it is very likely that of the supposed aliens that have supposedly visited Earth, that they have indeed, but they're not aliens, they're demons. Dressed up as Roswell aliens, because that's what you expect them to look like. And that's pretty much my statement on it. I agree with Father Wolf and that sermon that he did about the UFO researchers who pretty much came to the same conclusion. I don't have to say anything beyond that. And that's all I'm going to say. Now, finally, when Disclosure Day comes out to fully review it, if I'm not satisfied that I haven't gotten the full view, maybe I'll rent it and I'll watch it or whatever. But I'm not going to go see it this weekend. However, I will tell you that I have been watching, and I am going to now review Un Cinéma Critique, French for a film critic, the Amazon/Sony Studios TV series starring Nicolas Cage. It's called Spider Noir. And you're going to be surprised. I'm going to give it a decent rating. You're going to be surprised by this because it's actually pretty well done. Now, it's set in the 1930s, and as usual, I have to disclaim it and go I can't give it 4 Reagans because they have to drop the F-bombs in it, and it's not necessary to the story. You could have totally made this PG, not PG-13. You could have totally have made this PG, and no one would have complained about the lack of F-bombs in it. But they threw them in there, and they ought to be notified. Stop doing that. Stop doing it. You don't need it. It's not necessary to the story. So Nicolas Cage basically plays this character, Ben Reilly, who is a Sam Spade kind of, well, actually, he's a Peter Parker. He's not Sam Spade. He's Peter Parker style private investigator, meaning he's pretty much a who's a her. And he has committed some crime, some horrible mistake in his past, and we don't know what it is. And I'm through 6 episodes now, and they still have not revealed totally what it is that he did. But apparently he was bitten by the spider that bit Peter Parker, and he has dressed up as his character called the Spider. Not Spider-Man, the Spider. He wears a long trench coat and a black mask with kind of like bomb shelter goggles on it. He does sling webs. He has the webs coming out of his wrist. He can climb walls. He has all the powers of Spider-Man. Now remember, the Sony Corporation bought the rights to Spider-Man and got them from, thank the Lord, the Japs got them from the fag lovers at Disney. So Kevin Feige doesn't have Spider-Man. The Japanese, Sony has it. The series is really good. It's very well written. It's very well paced. You can tell there are good directors and writers that have worked on it. The bad guy character is a Kingpin style character. His name in the series is called Silvermane. Look, I'll watch anything with Brendan Gleeson in it. I just love the man. I just love him as an actor. Brendan Gleeson plays a big Irish guy. Brendan Gleeson plays Silvermane, and he plays him very well. You're almost torn. Wait a minute, is he trying to be a good guy or is he a bad guy? So it's very well done. Ben Reilly's private investigation service office is run by a charming, lovable, how shall we say, she's a gregarious woman. Her name is Janet Ruiz. She's played by the actress Karen Rodriguez. And she keeps the office going, and she's always trying to get money from the client so that she can pay herself before Ben Reilly gets his hands on it and goes to a speakeasy and goes buys bourbon. So that's kind of the setup. They actually cast from the original Spider-Man series. If you read it, the first 60 episodes or books of the Spider-Man Amazing stories, and then the Amazing Spider-Man series, all throughout the John Romita, Dick Giordano era, when they had two of the greatest artists on Earth working on it. Steve, Roy, his name will come to me in a minute, was writing the storylines. Robbie Robertson was a central character in the Amazing Spider-Man series. So he is kind of a central character in Spider Noir. He plays Robbie Robertson, and he plays him as an investigative journalist. So it's a young Robbie Robertson. He's not the editor yet. There is a editor at the newspaper that is kind of in the style of J. Jonah Jameson. And the plot line is that there is someone that is working behind the scenes to try and steal Silvermane's control over the crime, over the organized crime in the city. And he doesn't know who it is. And so he hires Ben Reilly to find out. And there is a lounge singer that is involved, that she's in the center of the whole thing. She's one of the central characters. And the whole thing then is built around the investigation of trying to figure out who it is that is the other the bad guy that remains in the shadows. And you kind of start through the first 5 episodes, you kind of start to wonder, is the Spider really the only superhero in the city? And you find out that he isn't. And there are some other characters. The Sandman shows up in episode 1, and then I'm trying to remember who the other superhero or super villain character is. But they have this in common, that they were all infected except the Spider. They were deployed in World War I. And they were captured, and in the camp where they were captured, some experiment was done on them that only years later, now, because now we're in the 1930s, is it starting to turn them into something that's not totally human. And the whole plot has not been revealed just yet. So the Spider is, I think, very well done. You could do it again. They don't need the F word. They don't need the cursing in it. For that, I got to knock it down a Reagan. I'll give it 3 Reagans. If you have Amazon, I think they're up to episode 8 by now. It's well worth the watch, especially if you're a Spider-Man fan. They drop a bunch of Easter eggs in there. You'll see them. From the Spider-Man movies and from the comics. So it's very respectful of the character and of kind of the Spider-Man cinematic universe. And I think that Nick Cage actually does a pretty good job. Because, if you follow Nicolas Cage in real life, he's had his share of problems. He bought the LaLaurie mansion in New Orleans. If you know anything about ghost stories and Ghost in New Orleans, you know about the LaLaurie mansion. Well, apparently nobody told Nicolas Cage, and he bought it, and 6 months later he was in bankruptcy court. So he is actually, in real life, he is literally a Peter Parker. I think that Nick Cage is probably a really good choice for playing the Spider, Ben Reilly. So I give it 3 Reagans, and there are your un cinema critique, your a movie review or film critic for the week here. So, again, I will watch the Ghost War movie this weekend. I promise you I'll get to it. I'll review it. I'll watch a few more. We'll have a great movie review. Well, no one's ever seen anything like it. We'll never see anything like it. The great Roger Ebert has never seen it. Isn't that right, Roger? Gene Siskel would never have seen anything like the movie reviews that we're going to do. So, we have not played the soundbite of the day. We played it, but we have not played it yet. Again, you have a chance to win a Golden Truth ticket or two if you went and watched yesterday's Mike Church Show highlight video at youtube.com/@RealKingDude or on my website at MikeChurch.com. You can find it there. Great Father's Day stuff it'll be on sale all weekend long in the Founders Trade in the Dude Gear store at shop.mikechurch.com. Win a pound of gold. You need to become an affiliate. Do it today. Start forwarding your link around. I can tell you that affiliate links are working because I get the notification on affiliate sales. And I've gotten a lot of notifications. As a matter of fact, if you go to winapoundofgold.com, you can actually see right now there is a affiliate leaderboard. Here, let me refresh the page. I'll tell you what the stats say currently. So go to winapoundofgold.com, scroll down and to near the bottom of the page, and now I have to wait for it to load. It's loading here, but you'll see the affiliate leaderboard down there. John Z is in the lead. Bam is in. I don't know who BAM is. Maggie, that's not Brother Andre and Maria. It can't be. Allison B is in third. Aaron B is in fourth. And Robert Y is in fifth. So if you've sold $300 in earnings at 10%, that means you sold 3,030 tickets. Good job, John Z. Thank you. Don't you want to be on the affiliate leaderboard? Go to winapoundofgold.com and play the game all weekend long. I'll play the soundbite later today. Be caller number, what is it, Maggie? 4 today, right? Caller number 4. I hope you have a safe and blessed remainder of the weekend. Did we ever settle, did Ijakona ever weigh in on the abstinence for today?
I didn't see it. If you did, I don't know.
Because today is the Feast of the Sacred Heart of our Lord Jesus Christ. It's a big feast day, and I'm not sure. I can't give you advice. You'll have to ask your own priest whether or not.
That is Brother Andre.
What?
That is Brother Andre.
Oh, that is Brother Andre. Oh, go Bam! Okay. Thanks for listening. You have a choice of what to listen to, what you watch. You chose us. St. John of San Facundo, pray for us. God bless you and Mary keep. Have a great weekend. See you Monday.